You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's a good time roll.
Are you ready for Kernels baseball? The Class A affiliate of the world champion Anaheim Angels plays right here on The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. Now, in his 8th season bringing you the fun of Cedar Rapids baseball, here's the voice of the Kernels. He's the one, the only, John Rogers, here on The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM.
Cedar Rapids Kernels, that's a good time roll.
Good Thursday morning, Eastern Iowa. The Kernels and Beloit conclude their 4-game series with a noon contest today. Most of this afternoon's crowd will enjoy lunch at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. They'll be savoring the traditional ballpark fare of popcorn, hot dogs, brats, and ice cream, as well as a wide variety of other delectable delights. The person who spearheads the food operations here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium is Dave Soper. We'll check in with Dave next on the Dugout Interview. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on The Zone.
You know how it is to have a good friend, someone who stands by you during good times as well as the bad. That's the kind of friend Dave Tobiasen of Family Insurance Center can be. Dave Tobiasen is your Pekin Insurance agent in Monticello. Whatever your insurance needs, you can depend on Dave Tobiasen. Dave will settle your claims as quickly and conveniently as possible. See Dave Tobiasen, your Pekin Insurance agent at Family Insurance Center in Monticello, for insurance coverages at competitive rates. Here's a fact about the new Veterans Memorial Stadium I bet you didn't know. All of the grounds surrounding our community's newest source of pride are maintained by Greg's Lawn Service. That's right, it's Greg's Lawn Service that provides you with that initial lift when you approach our magnificent new ballpark. Greg's Lawn Service can put their first-class signature on your yard, elevating it to the same immaculate condition you see around the stadium. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest since 1983.
Here with Dave Soper, and my first question for you, Dave, today is just give me and the audience, just kind of a general idea of what it is you do here on a day-to-day basis. I see you walking around during the games, but I'm not quite sure what goes on behind the scenes and during the day before the game starts.
Game day starts probably about 8:30 for us. We start getting everything prepared, looking at suite menus, crowd numbers, so we can expect what we need to prepare. Crew starts coming in today about 10:30 to get the stands ready and up and running. Volunteers group come in at about 11:15 to get everything going. So we're up and running right at 11 when gates start.
Okay, now you're in charge of, doing all the ordering and all that stuff, right?
Yes, I am.
How far in advance do you take the orders or put in the orders for the food, and how do you choose what it is that we order and what kind of food we have here at the ballpark?
Selection started about a month before the season started. We looked at menu options, added a few items like chicken tenders. Walking tacos started about a month ago. But we usually order about 2 or 3 days before the homestand, and then we have to usually order once or twice, depending on the length of the homestand. If it's a 7-game homestand, probably about twice more times.
Okay, so you said we've tried a few new things this year, like the chicken fingers and now the tacos. How do you get feedback from those items, and do we like to try new things here, or how does that work with the new things? What makes you decide to try something new?
People will ask for them. The walking tacos I have done across the street at the Ice Arena, and they were a big hit, so we decided to try them here, and they have been a hit once we started them about a month ago.
All right. Well, Colonel Director of Food and Beverage Operations, Dave Soper, is busy preparing lunch for today's noon start with Beloit. We'll return with Dave after this. You're listening to Kernels Baseball on The Zone. We're blooming. All summer long, Peck's Flower and Garden Shop can bring beautiful color to your yard, garden, and home. Stop in and see the brightly blooming perennial plants, rose bushes, and flowering shrubs. All are potted, growing, and ready to plant in your yards and gardens. Browse through the acres of plants at Peck's and pick up some growing tips from our expert staff. While at PEX, don't forget to take a stroll through the florist shop and celebrate summer with the finest fresh flowers, indoor blooming plants, and lush houseplants. Plus, home and garden excellence galore. Remember, it's not too late to enjoy beautiful plants and flowers at your home this summer. PEX Flower and Garden Shop, growing with the Cedar Rapids area since 1956. PEX at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Roads Northeast. We're back with Dave, and we have a few more questions for him. First of all, I'd like to ask you, what about health food and that sort of thing, or people that, don't want to eat greasy ballpark food? I know there's other stadiums, pro ball stadiums, that are serving sushi and, salads and things like that. Do we have any sort of options for people who are more health conscious and would like to eat healthy when they come to the ballpark?
Right now, about the only thing we have on our menu is Blimpie subs. We have 4 different varieties there that we do offer in our concession stands.
Okay, and being from Iowa and we are the Kernels, have we ever thought about, having corn on the cob or anything like that at our games?
Corn on the cob did come up mentioned this year, and I'm going to actually look at it for next year.
All right, that sounds good to me. Now, at the new stadium, I know you've been involved in food management and all this stuff for quite a few years now. How would you rate the equipment and the complex here at New Veterans Stadium as compared to other places you have worked, like the Ice Arena?
This complex is an outstanding complex to work in. It's all the equipment makes it real easy for my crew, my managers, and myself, so it's a very enjoyable complex.
All right, and then you started to talk a little bit about the suite menu. What are some of the differences in the menus from the suite as opposed to down on the concourse level?
The suites actually have some salads on them. They have a higher end. We have a steak and shrimp, like a meat and cheese platter tray. So it's some higher end items that the suite owners have asked for and pretty much expect up here.
All right, my final question for you today is, what do you think is the most popular item on our menu, and how, say in a given game, maybe on like the 4th of July or a game where we have really big numbers, how much of hot dogs or how much popcorn do we sell?
Hot dogs on the 4th of July, the jumbo and the regulars, we probably sold about 800 to 1,000.
Just in that game?
Yep, just in that game. It was amazing.
All right, so you'd say hot dogs are probably the most popular item in general, too?
Yep, hot dogs and brats, yes.
All right. Well, Dave Soper, thank you so much for joining us on the Dugout interview. As a food expert, you'll be pleased to have this $5 gift certificate from Zio Giano's. There are 5 Zio Giano's Italian spaghetti houses in our area. So much good food for so little money at Zio Giano's. Dave, thank you.
Thank you.
John Rogers is next with today's starting lineups. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on The Zone.
What can I help you with here at Big Time Motors?
Well, I'm looking for a used car. I like this one. What's the price?
Listen, lady, I don't sell prices. I sell cars. But I guess if you must know, it's this.
Wow. That's $2,000 more than the one low price on the exact same car at Randy Keel Honda. And I didn't even have to ask them. Randy Keel has the prices posted for every car in their lot.
Well, we've got the best service department to stand behind our vehicles.
Really? Randy Keel showed me they're #1 in service and sales customer satisfaction. How do you know yours is the best?
My manager told me.
Thanks, but I think I'm going back to Randy Keel Honda to get the best price and the best service.
But I can throw in a free air freshener to put over the rearview mirror.
Nice try.
Randy Keel Honda understands what you need when you're looking for a new or used car. They post their prices clearly, so you don't have to guess, and they'll never pressure you. That's why they're #1 in service and sales customer satisfaction. And they just won the President's Award from American Honda. Come find out for yourself. Randy Keel Honda is on Center Point Road in Cedar Rapids, or you can visit them at randykeel.com.
Good Thursday morning, Eastern Iowa. The Kernels and Beloit Snappers meet for the 8th and final time in this regular season, and the Kernels hope to use this 7th and final game of a 7-game homestand as a springboard for an upcoming road trip, which will be to Kane County and Burlington, an 8-game road trip. The Colonel homestand record stands square at 3-3. We've beaten Beloit 4 out of 7 times, and in this series have won 2 of the first 3. Monday night, the Kernels, on a dramatic 9th-inning leadoff homer by Matt Abram, trimmed the Snappers 5-4. Tuesday evening, the Kernels doubled up on Beloit, beating them 4-2, and then last night, the Snappers scored early and often and cruised to a 7-4 victory. It's an overcast Thursday, and hopefully the skies will clear. We have lots of great mixture of camp kids and youngsters and business people, and gosh, if you have any inkling at all, it's delightfully cool here, and come on out and enjoy your lunch and baseball here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. I guarantee you'll have a wonderful experience, even if baseball isn't your favorite thing. Let's set the starting lineups for this series finale, the Kernels and Snappers. The Kernels are the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the defending world champion Anaheim Angels. Beloit is the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers. Beloit skipper is Don Money. He's in his 6th season at the helm for the Snappers. Leading off for Beloit, their left fielder, he's 2nd in the league in steals with 38, Kennard Bibbs. Batting second, a guy that really has been a thorn in the Colonel's side all season, Calix Crabb, a switch-hitting second baseman. Crabb is 10 for 23 against Colonel pitching this season. Hitting third for Beloit, Tony Gwynn Jr. out of San Diego State. Tony Gwynn Jr. is in center field, batting third. The cleanup batter is an MVP candidate in the Midwest League, Milwaukee Brewer first-round draft pick 2 seasons ago, Prince Fielder. Prince Fielder is 2nd in the league in home runs with 17. He leads the league in RBIs with 69, and he's 3rd in the league in on-base percentage with a 290 or with a 405 on-base percentage. Prince Fielder at first bats cleanup for the visitors. The Snapper third baseman will bat 5th this afternoon. That's Jeff Eure, E-U-R-E. Mario Mendez is in right field for Don Money's crew, and Mendez will hit 6th. Batting 7th out of Long Beach State, he was drafted by Milwaukee in the 11th round last month. Adam Heather. Heather will be the designated hitter, and he'll hit 7th. Pedro Esparagosa is behind the plate, and he'll bat 8th. And batting 9th, the shortstop for Beloit, Chaz Tierney. On the hill for the Snappers, one of the best pitchers in the Midwest League. His record doesn't reflect that. He's 2-6, but his earned run average is among the league's lowest. Jeff Hausman, a 1.63 earned run average. Jeff Hausman is 21 years old. He's from Cal State Fullerton. He was taken in the 33rd round by Milwaukee last year. Jeff Hausman beat the Kernels at Pullman Field on May 31st. He spun 7 scoreless innings, gave us just 5 hits in 7 innings, and beat the Kernels 4-0. That was Hausman's last win of this season, way back on May 31st in Beloit. Jeff Hausman has not won since. He's 2-6. His last start was Saturday at John O'Donnell Stadium, his last start was Saturday at Pullman Field against the Quad City River Bandits. No decision in a Beloit 11-inning 7-6 victory over Quad City. In that last start, Hausman pitched very well. He went 6 innings, gave Quad City 2 runs, only 1 earned, on 8 hits in 6 innings, struck out 2, and he walked 1. Jeff Hausman, a 21-year-old southpaw from Cal State Fullerton, is on the hill, making his 14th start for Beloit. That's the Beloit starting lineup. Allen Motor Company is now proud to present the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup. Just in at Allen Motor Company, like new 2003 Buick Centuries, half price compared to new. Those 2003 Buick Centuries right now at Allen Motor Company start at $11,995. Like new, just in, half price compared to new. 2003 Buick Centuries starting at just $11,995 right now at Allen Motor Company. Visit Allen Motor Company, I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha, or visit Allen Motor Company online, ALLENMOTOR, AllenMotor.com. The Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup on this Thursday afternoon has Rancel Mel Guerrero leading off. Rancel's in right field. Batting second in the Allen Motor Company Colonel order, All-star switch-hitting shortstop Erick Aybar. Erick's 5th in the league in hitting with a .303 average. Hitting 3rd in the Allen Motor Company Colonel order today at second base, switch-hitting all-star, league's leading hitter Alberto Callaspo. Alberto with a .331 average, leading the Midwest League in batting. Hitting 4th is the designated hitter Jared Abruzzo. Batting 5th in the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup at first base, Matt Abram. The left fielder is Caleb Mayer. Mayer will be hitting 6th in the Allen Motor Company Colonel order. Doing the catching this afternoon and batting 7th is Alex Dvorsky. Switch-hitting center fielder Quan Cosby has been spectacular on this homestand, making no less than a half dozen terrific, dazzling catches in center field. Center today, and he'll bat 8th in the Allen Motor Company order. And batting 9th, Colonel All-Star B.J. Weed. Weed will start at third base, getting his first start at third base this season. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup, on the hill is 20-year-old Colonel Southpaw Micah Posey. Micah's won 3. He's lost 3. His earned run average is 3.11. Micah Posey's making his 11th start of the year. His last start was Saturday here against Peoria. In that outing, Micah Posey went 6 2/3. Gave the Chiefs just 1 run on Saturday night in 6 2/3 on 7 hits. He struck out 6 and walked none. That was the game in which the bullpen faltered and the Colonels wound up losing to the Peoria Chiefs this past Saturday. Micah Posey is on the mound for the Colonels. That completes our look at the Allen Motor Company Colonel starting lineup. The umpires for this Thursday afternoon affair, Will Robinson will call the balls and strikes, and Aaron Banks will be working the base paths. It's an overcast Thursday afternoon as we approach the top of the hour. A light breeze is blowing out from the home plate area towards right center field, and this is the final meeting of 8 between the Colonels and the Beloit Snappers. We split 4 at Pullman Field in southern Wisconsin. That was back in early June. And Beloit will be trying to gain a split with us in this 4-game series if they can win this afternoon. The Colonels, of course, have their sights set on trying to regain the 500 mark in the Western Division second half standings. Our record is 10-11. We're a game back of the Snappers. The Colonels are in 5th place in the 8-team Western Division second half standings, 1 game back of Beloit. The Colonels are 2 behind Kane County. We'll be going to Kane County to play the Cougars in a 4-game series starting tomorrow evening. And then it's Clinton leading the division. The Lumber Kings, a Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Texas Rangers, they're 14-7. Peoria is 13-7, a half game in second place. Micah Posey is completing his warm-up down the right field line, and before he heads into the Colonel first base dugout and the Colonels take the field, we want to thank Certified Pest Control. Certified Pest Control is the official exterminator here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Termite control, pest elimination, quality service at a low price from Certified Pest Control. If you need to rid your dwelling or your business of mice, moles, spiders, roaches, bats, bees, fleas, wasps, crickets, termites, or any other kind of unwanted pests, please think of Certified Pest Control first. Quality service at a low price. The official exterminators in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, Certified Pest Control. The Colonels have made a roster change, and our hearts go out to Daniel Arias, who is a real stalwart out of the Colonel bullpen this season. Daniel has had to leave the club. He's been assigned to the Mesa Angels in the Arizona Rookie League. Daniel Arias was diagnosed yesterday with a stress fracture in his back. So Daniel will be on the mend out in Mesa and then join the Rookie Angels as their season continues. Our best goes out to Daniel Arias, a delightful kid, 2-2 in 29 appearances out of the Colonel bullpen this spring and summer, a 4.39 ERA. Daniel Arias, healing from a stress fracture in his back, has been assigned to Mesa. To replace Daniel Arias, the Kernels have acquired right-handed pitcher Leonardo D'amico from the Mesa Angels. Leonardo D'amico, 21 years old, signed by Anaheim as a non-drafted free agent back in March of '99. D'Amico's from Venezuela, and with Provo last year in 14 starts, Leonardo was 3-0 with a 3.57 ERA. D'Amico began this season in extended spring training, was promoted in late May to Rancho Cucamonga, our California League affiliate. He was 0-1 in 6 appearances, and with Mesa, D'Amico pitched just an inning in the third. And we have Leonardo D'Amico on our squad now from the Mesa Angels. Continuing to warm up down the right field line is Colonel left-hander Micah Posey. That'll give us a chance to let you know the starting times of our next 4 ball games against the Kane County Cougars in Geneva, Illinois. Tomorrow evening, we open the 4-game series against the Class A Midwest League affiliate of the Oakland Athletics, a 6:10 dugout interview time. Your baseball questions will be answered by Colonel Manager Todd Klaus, as always, on the Friday dugout interview. 6:10 dugout interview time tomorrow from Philip Elstrom Stadium. Then 5:40 dugout interview time, a 6 o'clock first pitch Saturday evening. Sunday, a 2 o'clock game from the Chicago suburb of Geneva, Illinois. 2 o'clock start, 1:40 dugout interview. And then a noon game on Monday. On Monday the 14th, a noon game against Kane County. Then a couple of off days, the 15th and 16th. Then we go to Burlington. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, 7 o'clock starts. Sunday at 2. Then it's back at home for 4 against the Quad City River Bandits. Well, Micah Posey has joined his teammates in the first base Colonel dugout. There are a lot of kids from various camps in the community. They're in the plaza section. Oh, they have lime green shirts on, orange T-shirts, powder blue T-shirts, purple T-shirts, red T-shirts, orange T-shirts. It's great to see so many kids out at the ball game today. We sure wish we had sunshine and blue skies. Instead, cloud cover and temperatures in the mid-70s for this Thursday afternoon game. As the Kernels take the field, you'll hear the crowd applaud when they do. I want to remind you that you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Allison Conley is our in-studio engineer. Our broadcast assistant, Allie Lensko, hosted the dugout interview this morning. Hope you enjoyed her interview with Dave Soper, the Kernel Director of Food and Concessions, Food and Beverage. Well, the Kernels have taken the field. We're going to have an announcement from Bank Iowa, and then we'll enjoy this afternoon's Star Spangled Banner. Right now, though, let's listen in on the message from Bank Iowa, to be followed by the singing of the national anthem.
We are proud to be American, and proud of our flag and all for which it stands. Please stand and join Bank Iowa and the Kernels in singing our national anthem as we salute all who defend our nation and preserve our freedom.
Performing the national anthem today, Janelle Flowers.
When you see, and you see, by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming.
best renditions we'd heard all season, the national anthem here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. Noon baseball, we're glad you're with us. It's the final finale of a 7-game homestand, and the Kernels hope to make the homestand a winning one. If a win against Beloit this afternoon would raise our 7-game homestand record to 4-3 and pull the Kernels back up to the 500 mark at 11-11 in the second half. I'm John Rogers, and I look forward to bringing you this afternoon's ball game here on The Zone. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on The Zone.
I cannot be anyone but me. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong from right. I know just what I like. Yeah, hold me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy of each generation. It's time they got their own songs. Come to shout it out. It's that toy,
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Micah Posey is set to go against the Beloit Snappers. They have blue socks, blue caps, blue numbers trimmed in white. And their leadoff batter has been a real pest as far as the Kernels are concerned, Kennard Bibbs. Bibbs is 10 for 26 against Kernel pitching this season. And Kennard in this series is 7 for 14. Bibbs was 3 for 5 last night, scored in the first inning. Kennard Bibbs, 7 for 14 against the Kernels in this series, set to go against Micah Posey, Kernel left-hander. Bibbs with a slightly open stance, overall hitting .283, and he takes just inside, apparently, ball one. No home runs, 26 RBIs for Kennard Bibbs. Micah Posey's making his 11th start of the season. The 1-0. High and away, ball two. In on the grass at third is B.J. Weed. It's B.J.'s first start of the season at third base. Micah into his windup. The 2-0 headed home, and it's high, ball three. Micah Posey pitched against these Beloit Snappers back on June 1st in the first game of a doubleheader, and he suffered a loss. The 3-0 to the left-handed batter is inside, ball four. A 4-pitch walk to a man who's second in the league in steals. Kennard Bibbs is 38 of 49 in stolen base attempts. He's aboard on a 4-pitch walk to start this afternoon's game. On June 1st at Pullman Field, the first game of a doubleheader, it was Micah Posey's 4th start of the year. He went 4 innings against these Snappers, gave them 4 runs in 4 innings, only 1 earned on 8 hits. Here's a bunt attempt, and Calix Crabb bunts it foul to the base of the backstop, strike one. Calix Crabb is 10 for 23 against us this season in 7 games. That's a .435 average. Overall, Calix is a .252 batter. He's a switch hitter batting right. 1 homer, 30 RBIs. 6 of his 30 runs driven in had come against us. A throw to first, and Kennard Bibbs is back standing up. Last night, Calix Crabb, out of Manatee Community College by way of the U.S. Virgin Island, was 2 for 4. He drove in 3 of the Snappers' 7 runs. Calix Crabb, a switch hitter batting right, waits as Micah throws to first, and again Bibbs is back standing up. Good crowd here this afternoon, as we expected, and they're just settling in, watching the Kernels and Snappers in our final meeting of the regular season. The 0-1 from the Kernel southpaw. A bunt, and it rolls foul outside of first. Alex Dvorsky went 6 feet up the first base line and picked it up as it spun foul, and that's strike 2 to Calix Crabb. The Kernel outfield this afternoon, Caleb Mayer in left, Quan Cosby in center, and Rancel Mel Guerrero in right. a battery of Posey, a 6'4" lefty, and the catcher is Alex Dvorsky. The lights have just been turned on here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Kernels are 5-5 in the second half, 23-22 overall. The 0-2 from Posey, outside a fastball. Kalix leaves the batter's box and is looking down to the third base coach, Mike Guerrero. He's calling the shots this afternoon, wearing a blue snapper jacket over his gray road uniform. Don Money's watching from the snapper third base dugout. Another throw to first, and Bibbs is back safely. Weed at third, up the middle, Aybar at short, the second baseman Callaspo, and Matt Abram holding the runner Kennard Bibbs at first. Another throw over, and again Kennard back standing up. Great to see all the kids from camps around the area in the plaza section. A multitude of colored T-shirts out there representing each of the different camps. The 1-2 to Crabb. The runner goes, and a pitch grounded to short. Aybar will not have a play at second. Erick throws the batter out. Kennard Bibbs was running, and he's in scoring position as Calix Crabb rolls out to short. Aybar fielded it just to the left of the base and thought about trying to step on second, but it wouldn't have helped because he wouldn't have gotten Bibbs. Kennard was already sliding into second. There's a runner at second with one out, and stepping to the plate for the Snappers for the first time this afternoon is Tony Gwynn Jr. Tony Gwynn Jr. hitting a robust .389 in his first 13 games as a Beloit Snapper. A homer, 10 RBIs. Tony Gwynn Jr. is a left-handed batter. Micah delivers low and in, ball one, a fastball. Tony Gwynn Jr. was 1 for 4 last night in the Beloit victory. A bunt single ahead of Prince Fielder's third inning 2-run homer. Prince lurks on deck. The 1-0 to Tony Gwynn Jr. is spanked on the ground to first. A nice big room service hop for Matt Abram. On to third goes Bibbs as Matt Abram trots to the base ahead of Tony Gwynn Jr. 2 gone in the Snapper first inning. On to third went Kennard Bibbs on the ground ball out to first off the bat of Tony Gwynn Jr. A runner at third, 2 gone here in the Beloit first inning. The batter, Prince Fielder. Prince, 7th in the league with a .299 average. 17 home runs, second highest total in the league. 69 RBIs. He leads the league in RBIs. We told you about his 2-run homer in the third last night. It put Beloit ahead for good in their 7-4 victory. Ball one is below the knees to Prince Fielder, a strong left-handed batter with the highest number of runs driven in the league. Ball two is downstairs. Halo happenings, results from last night around the Anaheim Angel organization, brought to you by Colonel Director of Public Relations and Marketing, Mike Kuhlbeck. 1997, Colonel third baseman DH catcher Sean Wooten hit a 3-run homer in the 6th inning. That erased a 3-2 Kansas City lead and powered the Anaheim Angels, our parent club, the defending world champs, to a 5-3 victory. It was Sean Wooten's 5th homer of the year. Ball 3 low from Posey to Prince Fielder. Here's the 3-0. Letter high fastball, a strike. Sean Wooten with a 3-run homer at Edison International Field last night in the 6th inning, his 5th of the year, and it catapulted the Anaheim Angels, our parent club, to a 5-3 victory over the Royals. The 3-1. Grounded to first, Matt Abram in, has it, underhands to Micah, out at first. Micah Posey pitches around a leadoff walk and gets Prince Fielder on a grounder to first. Abram picked it up and underhanded to Micah covering. Micah was at the base just ahead of the hustling Prince Fielder. In the first inning for Beloit, no runs, no hits, a leadoff walk. There were no Colonel errors. The Snappers leave a runner aboard. And after 1/2 inning, Beloit nothing. The Colonels coming to bat. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Okay, so I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare, and as I'm walking out, I see myself in the double door. Uh-oh is right. My hair looks terrible. My ends are all scraggly, and my roots. Did you see my roots? I can't believe I've been walking around like this.
Have you tried cost
Oh,
cutters?
I'd love to get my hair done, but who has the time? With work and the kids, I barely have time to find matching socks, let alone time for my hair. Besides, I need the works.
Just go to Cost Cutters. They'll have you in and out and looking great in no time.
Yeah?
Yeah. At Cost Cutters, the stylist will keep you looking great with a new cut, some color, even highlights. Check out mine.
Oh, so Cost Cutters is your secret.
Yep. I even get my favorite products there. You know, shampoo, conditioner.
That's it. I'm going to Cost Cutters.
Right now?
My roots, thank you.
There are a dozen Cost Cutters here in our area, each offering a relaxed, convenient hair care experience with no appointments and no hassles. Cost Cutters makes things easy and affordable with professional stylists who care about you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
Miller Lite, Miller Time, track 7.
Well, chillin' with my crew in an ice cold brew. Miller Lite's alright, but we're back on the bar. But you in the meantime, I recite this rhyme to remind the whole world that it's Miller time. It's Miller time. In the summertime. Get back, relax, it's Miller time, yeah!
Miller Lite, Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Live responsibly.
So don't waste your time standing by.
The Kernels are facing Jeff Hausman, a 2-6 record, an ERA of 1.63 for the second time this season. No score, bottom of the first inning. Jeff Hausman shut out the Kernels, 7 innings of shutout ball back on May 31st, the series opener of a 4-game set in Beloit. 7 innings pitched, no runs, 5 hits, 3 strikeouts, no walks. He's very similar to Micah Posey in his approach. That is, he hits his spots and he changes speeds highly effectively. His fastball is winged outside. Ball 1 to Rancel Mel Guerrero. Rancel has not played the last 2 nights. In the series opener, the Colonel 5-4 win Monday night, Rancel was 1 for 3 with a walk. Mel Guerrero, a right-handed batter, takes ball 2 low. Mel Guerrero hitting .217, 1 homer, 17 RBIs. And he's leading off in the bottom of the first for the Kernels, wearing a pair of bright red batting gloves. The lefty misses high and away, and that's ball 3. Jeff Hausman may follow the same path that our lefty, Micah Posey, wandered down in the top of this inning. He issued a walk to the Beloit leadoff batter, and that's exactly what happens. Jeff Hausman, a 4-pitch walk to Rancel Mel Guerrero. 1 on, nobody out in this scoreless game for Erick Aybar. Erick hitting .303, 5th highest in the league, 4 home runs, 43 RBIs, 20 doubles, and 7 triples. He's tied for second in the league with his 7 triples. Then he has the highest number of steals by a Colonel, 20 for Erick Aybar. Aybar is 4 for 11 in this series. He tripled and scored in the first last night to tie the game at 1. Erick Aybar, a switch hitter batting right, grounds 1 to third, double play ball. Yore to second out, throw to first, not in time. Jeff Yore got it to Calix Crabb for the force out of Mel Guerrero, and that's all the snappers were able to get. Erick Aybar reaches on a fielder's choice, 5-4, Yore to Calix Crabb. The return throw by Calix to first, not in time to get Erick Aybar. Alberto Callaspo is the league's leading hitter. And with 1 on and 1 out in the Colonel first, Callaspo, who has 6 hits in this series, is batting against Jeff Hausman. A throw to first, Aybar back standing up. Alberto Callaspo is 6 for 11 in this series. 3 for 4 last night. The league's leading hitter, batting .331, drove in 2 of our 4 runs. The first pitch to Alberto, in the dirt, off the glove of the catcher, and on to second goes Aybar. Well, I don't know if that'll be a pass ball or wild pitch. We'll have to see. I heard myself say in the dirt, so likely a wild pitch. If it is a wild pitch, it's the 6th issued in 14 starts by Jeff Hausman. Now Alberto Callaspo could put the Kernels ahead with a base hit. He leads the league in that department with 112 hits. He shoots one into right field, right at Mario Mendez. And tagging and going to third is Aybar. He is safe. The ball gets by the third baseman, but Erick holds on. Erick holds on. Erick Aybar tested the arm of Mario Mendez and won that test. Callaspo hit it hard, right on the nose to right. Aybar tagging from second, drew a throw at third. A one-hop throw skipped by Jeff Yore, but there was the pitcher Jeff Hausman backing it up. And the Kernels, just like the Snappers in the top of this first inning, have a runner at third with their leading run producer at the plate, Jared Abruzzo. Jared was 0 for 4 with a walk last night. He's hitting .262. The switch hitter leads the Kernels with 10 homers and is tops on the club with 45 runs driven in, Jared Abruzzo. A right-handed batter takes strike one called. Halo happenings continuing with Wednesday's results from around the Anaheim Angel organization. We told you about Sean Wooten's 3-run homer that propelled the Angels to victory last night. Salt Lake clobbered Edmonton 14-5. And for the Salt Lake Stingers, Trent Durrington, former Colonel second baseman, was 4 for 4. He helped lead Salt Lake to the win. Trent scored 4 runs and drove in 3. He also socked his 7th home run. Trent Durrington helping pace Salt Lake to a victory. Abruzzo on a 1-1 pitch checks his swing and bounces one to shallow short. Chaz Tierney charges, and Chaz Tierney throws Abruzzo out. Jared was cheated on a 1-1 pitch. He checked his swing, and he bounces out to short. No runs in the Colonel first. A leadoff walk to the leadoff man. No hits. There were no Beloit errors. The Colonels leave 1 on. The first inning mirrored each other. Beloit and the Colonels each got a leadoff 4-pitch walk to their leadoff man. Each had a man at third with 2 out for their leading run producer, and neither club could score. After 1, the Colonels nothing, the Snappers nothing. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Life is a process of continuous change. Each of us has to be prepared to adjust to constantly changing events. One way you can make sure you're taking care of all the changes in your life is to visit Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance agent at Weidenhammer Andrews in Cedar Rapids. You can depend on Phil Andrews, your Pekin insurance professional, to give you sound advice on insurance for your home, auto, life, and health. See Phil Andrews at the Weidenhammer Andrews Agency in Cedar Rapids to make your life a little easier.
In the land of what-ifs, there exists a phrase called, "What if I had more money?" With a Wells Fargo personal loan or line of credit, you can stop all that wondering. You'll not only get the money you need, you'll save more by consolidating your high-interest debt into one affordable monthly payment. And with flexible terms and competitive rates, we'll be sure to meet your individual needs. Talk to a Wells Fargo personal banker and apply today. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
If you can't get enough of the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM, why not join our team?
Are you ready?
We're looking for highly motivated people with sales, communication, and marketing skills to represent the best sports radio station in town. If you're interested in playing for the Zone's A team, slide into our studios at 501 2nd Ave in Cedar Rapids or email your resume to soundoff@thezone1600.com. Your future is calling. Get in the game. Get in the Zone. ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Jeff Yore, the number 5 hitter in the Snapper order, takes a pitch down and away. Ball 1 from Colonel lefty Micah Posey. We're in the top of the second on a overcast but delightfully cool Thursday afternoon. Yore swings at a changeup and misses, strike 1. Jeff Yore was 1 for 3 in the Beloit victory last night. 1 for 3. He scored a run. Yore hitting .244. 10 home runs, 40 RBIs. Ball 2 dips down and into the 22-year-old right-handed batter, taken in the 18th round by the Brewers in 2001 out of Old Dominion, Jeff Yore, E-U-R-E. He bashes one foul past B.J. Weed at third, and the count 2-2 to Yore. Colonel Baseball on this Thursday afternoon here on the Zone, brought to you in part by Mercy Care North and Mercy Care South, treating walk-in, limp-in, and crawl-in patients daily. For urgent care of acute illness or sudden injury, visit Mercy Care North or Mercy Care South. The 2-2 to Jeff Yore. A high, deep drive to center. Cosby on his horse, way back, and it's over his head. It's off the screen above the center field wall. A mammoth home run by Jeff Yore, his 11th of the year. Jeff Yore puts the Snappers ahead here in the second with a monstrous home run. He hit it a third of the way up the dark green netting that serves as the batter's eye here in the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. What a prodigious home run by Jeff Yore, the fourth home run surrendered by Micah Posey, and this his 11th start of the year. Jeff Yore with his 11th of the year. Beloit came in ranked 8th in the league, 8th of 14 teams in the power department. That's their 44th home run of the year, and this is their 90th game. Now Micah delivers a strike called. There's a lot of good things about a solo home run. Of course, the only bad thing is we've fallen behind 1-0, but a solo home run, yes, it's a great weapon, but it provides instant offense. But think about it. It's only 1-0 on a home run. Ball one is high to Mario Mendez, a .255 hitter, a right-handed batter, and he tips one foul behind the plate, strike one. So even though Jeff Yore lit into one and bashed it off the dark green net over the center field wall, it's just a 1-0 game. Mendez, 2 homers, 22 RBIs, a curve from Micah Posey, strike 3 called. Micah Posey keeps his composure after giving up the long ball and gets Mario Mendez on a called strike 3. And that's the first strikeout for the Colonel lefty, Micah Posey. The batter is Adam Heather. In 11 games, Heather hitting .216, no homers, 2 RBIs. He didn't play last night. He's the DH. And a changeup is a beauty on the outside corner. Strike 1 to Adam Heather. Continuing with our look at results from around the Anaheim Angel organization last night. Halo happenings as Heather takes inside a ball. Arkansas, AA Arkansas, was stomped by Frisco 8-2. Former Colonel right-hander Billy Stokely had his record fall to 2-8. He gave up 8 hits and 6 runs. Here's a line drive into right and caught by Mel Guerrero. Adam Heather went the other way and laced it into right. Mel Guerrero only had to take 2 steps in to catch it. 2 gone following the home run by Yore in the second. And the batter is Pedro Esparagoza. Former Colonel Ryan Cummings with AA Arkansas pitched a scoreless inning as Frisco dumped the Travelers and Tyrone Boykin's club 8-2. AA Arkansas has a record of 41-50. Rancho Cucamonga lost to Lancaster 9-7 last night. A curve is a beauty, a strike call to Esparagoza. Pedro is batting with 2 out, bases empty, top of the second, 1-0 Snappers. Right-handed hitting catcher. A pitch just high, ball 1. Rancho Cucamonga lost to Lancaster 9-7. Jeff Mathis had 3 hits, drove in 3, had a home run. Justin Turner, our second baseman last year, 3 hits, including a home run. Ball 2 is upstairs. Dallas McPherson also went deep. Tommy Murphy had 2 hits and stole a base, but it wasn't enough, as Johan Santana gave up 8 hits and 8 runs, 4 earned in 3 innings. Strike 2 called, evens the count for the right-handed batting catcher. Esparagoza 2-2. Now Johan Santana is now known as Irvin Santana. He walked 3, struck out 4 in 3 innings. His record 9-2. Here's a 2-2 pitch launched foul over the Miller Mezzanine Terrace by Pedro Esparagoza. A .254 hitter with 1 home run, 15 RBIs. He's in his second year with Beloit. He grounds one sharply to shortstop on 2 hops. Throwing out Esparagoza is Erick Aybar. Pedro Esparagoza grounds out to short, and that does it for Beloit. They strike first in this game, a leadoff homer by Jeff Yore. 1 run, 1 hit, no Colonel errors, nobody left for the Snappers. The Colonels come to bat in the bottom of the second. Beloit leading 1-0. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Bring the classic beauty of wood to your home with Hardwood Technologies. Hardwood Technologies manufactures fireplace mantles, surrounds, custom wood millwork, quality moldings, stairway components, and more. Hardwood Technologies in Hiawatha, where the beauty in wood takes shape.
From corn dogs and shrimp to our signature butter burgers and over 140 flavors of frozen custard, Culver's of Hiawatha offers delicious food and quality service. Dine in, drive through, or relax out on the patio. Thanks Hiawatha for making Culver's feel at home.
Mid-season championship this Friday night at Cedar Rapids Hawkeye Downs Speedway. Junkie Automotive Group mid-season championship. Driver introductions, longer feature races. Mid-season championship this Friday night at Cedar Rapids Hawkeye Downs Speedway. Live racing divisions in action. If you haven't been to Hawkeye Downs Speedway this season, this Friday night is the night. Different tires, different lineup procedures, and the new GM crate engines have led to great racing this year. Don't miss the excitement Friday night at Cedar Rapids Hawkeye Downs Speedway.
It's a fast-paced world. Things change at the speed of sound, yet some things never change, like your desire to deal with a solid, dependable car dealer. Zimmerman Ford has been around for 31 years. They still deal with a handshake and a promise to be there after the sale with quality service. Zimmerman Ford Town is Eastern Iowa's largest volume Ford dealer, and you don't get that way without being rock solid. Check them out on the web at FordTownUSA.com or in person on 1st Avenue in Cedar Rapids. Ford, BMW, Hyundai, and Mitsubishi at Zimmerman Ford Town.
1-0 Beloit as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Great to have you with us on this Thursday afternoon. Halo happenings, results from around the Anaheim Angel organization. Let's finish up with the Provo 15-7 rout of Casper. Provo is, of course, one of the two Angel Rookie League teams. And former Colonel third baseman Matt Brown. Matt was the starter at third the first half of the season. Helped Provo in that 15-7 romp over Casper, Wyoming. Matt Brown was 1 for 3 with a run driven in. Tommy Duenas scored 3 times in the Provo drubbing of Casper. Great to share those Halo happenings with you, thanks to Mike Kuhlbeck, our Director of Public Relations and Marketing. Leading off for the Kernels in the second is Matt Abram. He tries to bunt his way on, and he bunts foul off the shin guards of the catcher, Pedro Esparagoza. Matt Abram, in 15 games, is hitting .244, 4 home runs, 11 RBIs for Abram. Matt was 0 for 3 last night with a walk. He's 3 for 11 in the series, a right-handed batter, Matt Abram. Ground ball up the middle. That's the Colonel first hit of the day. Matt Abrams smacked one hard right underneath the outstretched glove of the pitcher, Jeff Hausman, into center field for a leadoff single. One on, nobody out for Caleb Mayer. Caleb is hitting .255 with 5 homers, 31 RBIs. Caleb has struggled in this series. He's 1 for 11. He's 1 for his last 14. And he's due to come out of his tailspin. Oh, he laces the first pitch foul into the backstop, strike one. Caleb Mayer jumped all over that first pitch from Jeff Hausman, fouled it straight back. Hausman making his 14th start of the year. He's won 2 and lost 6. His ERA is a minuscule 1.63. He's only given up 71 hits in 82 and 2/3 innings. A high pop foul over the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. Mayer in the hole 0-2. The lefty has struck out 46 men in 82 and 2/3, walked 23. The league hitting .225 against Jeff Hausman, Housman. Beloit's pitching staff with a team ERA of 3.66. 8th in the league in pitching, 8th of 14 teams. A curve, and Caleb punches it into the screen to remain in the hole 0-2. Tony Gwynn Jr. playing Caleb way around into right center. Hausman busts him inside and missed with the fastball. It's 1-2 to Caleb. Boy, these two pitchers are so similar, Micah Posey and Jeff Hausman. They both know how to pitch at a very young age. Mike is only 20 years old. The Beloit Southpaw's 21. Caleb Mayer rockets one foul into the right field corner. It rattles around down there where Mario Mendez will likely toss it up to the kids. Now don't throw it to Rhodey. Oh, he's throwing it back into Calyx Crabb, and Crabb will throw it into Rhodey. Doggone it, I was hoping the kids would get a souvenir. Maybe Rhodey will have some generosity in his heart. No, he keeps the baseball. Boy, those baseballs are so highly valued by the Roadrunner. Caleb lashes another pitch foul into the screen. It's still 1-2 to the Colonel left fielder, number 6 hitter Caleb Mayer. Kernels trail here early, 1-0. We're in the bottom of the second inning. We have our first hit of the day, a leadoff single by Abram. He's at first with nobody out. The 1-2 to Mayer. Now the lefty steps off the rubber. A good contingent of folks on the Randy Keel Honda Confidence Picnic Pavilion as ball 2 floats low and outside to the Colonel 20-year-old youngster Caleb Mayer. We're still gleaming about the great email we got from Caleb's mom after our road trip last. A swing and a miss, but the ball gets, well, wait a minute, a swing and a miss, and Caleb is out, but down to second goes Matt Abram. Caleb swung and missed. The ball somehow got through the legs of Pedro Esparagoza. They're going to charge him with a pass ball. A pass ball charged to Esparagoza. And Matt Abram is now in scoring position for Alex Dvorsky. So even though Caleb Mayer struck out, the tying run goes to second. I thought Caleb got a piece of the 2-2 pitch, but apparently he did not. The ball trickled through the legs of Esparagoza, and it sent Matt Abram the tying run to second. Alex Dvorsky did not play Tuesday night or last night. He swings and tips one foul into the middle of the catcher, strike one. Alex hitting .245. He's belted 5 home runs. He's driven in 24. Dvorsky will try to tie this game with a base hit here in the bottom of the second inning. Well, I've seen it all now. Somebody's here from a local media outlet interviewing Mr. Shucks. A curve, and it's 1-1 to Alex. I'm sure they're interviewing Mr. Shucks about that terrible incident at Miller Park last night when one of the sausage mascots was clubbed in the head by Randall Simon. Randall Simon was arrested. A high pop foul off to the right onto the Miller mezzanine terrace, and Alex finds himself down in the count 1-2. We'll release a statement from Mr. Shucks a little bit later this afternoon regarding his take on the situation last night at Miller Park where one of the Brewers sausage mascots was hit. There goes Abram. Now he stops and a fastball inside. It's 2-2 to Alex. Matt Abram bluffed a break towards third. I don't think it distracted the lefty Jeff Hausman, who missed inside. Ball 2 to Alex. 1-0 Beloit. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Dvorsky grounds one up the middle. That's a base hit. Abram's going to be waved home. A good throw could get him. Tony Gwynn Jr.'s throw home. Bad, and scoring is Matt Abram on a base hit through the middle. A base hit through the middle by Alex Dvorsky. Alex ties the game on a 2-2 pitch. He didn't hit it hard, but he grounded it through the middle. It was charged by Tony Gwynn Jr. His throw home was short of the mark, and coming in front of home plate was Pedro Esparagoza. The ball got by him, and that allowed the runner to go to second. An error will likely be charged on Pedro Esparagoza. We're tied at 1 here in the bottom of the second inning. It's Dvorsky's 25th RBI of the year. An error should be charged to the catcher who muffed that throw from Tony Gwynn Jr. So the Kernels have tied the game, 1-1 here in the second. They have Alex Dvorsky at second with 1 out, and Quan Cosby, a switch hitter, backs away from a pitch inside, ball 1. Quan could give the Kernels the lead. He grounds one through the whole left side. Dvorsky had to wait to make sure it went through, so Alex will scoot to third. It's first and third, 1 out, a base hit into left by Quan Cosby. Quan grounded it just to the left of the third baseman Jeff Yore and past a diving Chaz Tierney at short. Good base running by Alex. He had to make sure it went through. It did. And now with runners at first and third, B.J. Weed with 1 out in the second could put the Kernels ahead. B.J. Weed had 2 hits last night. Scored 2 of the Colonel 4 runs. BJ was 2 for 3. BJ Weed batting right-handed against the lefty Jeff Hausman. A throw to first, and Quan is back safely. We're tied at 1 in the bottom of the second, and the Colonels have runners at the corners. BJ hitting .286. He's playing third base this afternoon for the first time as a starter. Now the first pitch is outside and low, ball 1. BJ faked a bunt. A suicide squeeze was not called for, as Dvorsky did not break towards the plate from third. Alex is at third. Quan Cosby's at first. Jeff Hausman with the 1-0 to the Colonel third baseman. Here's a bunt pushed foul towards the Colonel first base dugout. It evens the count to Weed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Is Weed trying to bunt again? No, he swings and misses. He had a healthy cut, but Jeff Hausman pulled the string on him. A good changeup. Todd Klaus now flashes a new series of signs to his base runners and to the batter, B.J. Weed. B.J. has 12 steals this year. A high RBI total of 27 for a guy that's batted everywhere in the order. He smacks one foul and probably broke his bat, lining one off the padding of the plaza section. BJ did break his bat, and he'll return to the Colonel first base dugout to replace it. 1-1 our score, bottom of the second. Colonel Baseball here on the Zone, brought to you in part all season long by the Crown Plaza Hotel. Simplified elegance combined with the latest features and amenities at the Crown Plaza Hotel. You're within walking distance of all the great downtown attractions, the IMAX, Bussy McLeod IMAX Theater, the Symphony, the Science Station, the new YMCA, all are within walking distance of the Crown Plaza Hotel, a proud sponsor of Colonel Baseball. In fact, we can see the maroon sign that's high atop the Crown Plaza Hotel in downtown Cedar Rapids from right here in the press box. Quan Cosby was running, then stopped as BJ fouls one into the screen. Is still 1-2 to the Colonel number 9 hitter, BJ Weed. Listen to those kids in the plaza section. Boy, they're making a racket, aren't they? Prompted by the Rockwell Collins game link. A swing and a miss by Weed. Cosby running, and he's thrown out. He's thrown out. And Calix Crabb put the tag on Quan Cosby. Oh, we had runners at first and third with 1 out. But a strike him out, throw him out double play ends the Colonel's second inning. It went 2-4. Esparagoza nails Quan Cosby after B.J. Weed struck out. In the second, 1 run for the Colonels on 3 singles. There were no Beloit errors. The Colonels leave a man. We've stranded 2. And after 2, it's the Colonels and Beloit tied at 1. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
When we met at Spaghetti, we would never forget Zio Giano's. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini, or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. Zio Giano's is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember Zio Giano's with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
On the outside, everything looks fine. But on the inside, an unseen enemy is plotting the destruction of your home. Termites. Termites can be deadly to your home unless you fight back with certified pest and termite control. Yes, termites have made their way to Iowa, and they can cause extensive damage to your home before you even know they're there. It takes a trained professional to look in all the right places. Don't risk your home. Call the experienced, licensed, and insured experts at Certified Pest and Termite Control. 1 in 5 homes inspected have shown signs of termites. Certified offers guaranteed inspections and a 10% discount for seniors. Locally owned and operated, Certified carries a full supply for the do-it-yourselfers. Look for the Giant Ant at 1141 16th Avenue Southwest. Don't take a chance. Call Certified Pest and Termite Control today.
The number 9 hitter for the Snappers, Chaz Tierney, will lead it off against Colonel Southpaw Micah Posey. Top of the third, 1-1 the score. Tierney swings at the first pitch and pops it high up the first base side, and halfway to first, Matt Abram in fair ground, just in fair ground, snares it. Chaz Tierney, first pitch swinging, a 229 average, is popped up to Matt Abram at first for the first out of the Beloit third inning. We're tied 1-1. Now to the top of the order, here's Kennard Bibbs. He walked but was stranded at third with 2 out in the first inning. Bibbs takes a curve, a dandy, strike one for Micah Posey. Between the bottom of the second and this top of the third, 5-year-old Trey Alcott took the field as our Culver small fry of the game. Another bender and another strike to the left-handed batter Kennard Bibbs for Micah Posey. 5-year-old Trey Alcott visited Colonel first baseman Matt Abram as our Culver small fry. An 0-2 pitch is looped into center for a base hit. Kennard Bibbs is now 11 for 27 against us. He took an 0-2 pitch and hit it right off his thumbs and was able to sneak it by Erick Aybar into center field. Bibbs didn't hit it well, but he's aboard as the go-ahead run. He singled into center on an 0-2 pitch. As the Culver's small fry of the game, 5-year-old Trey Alcott got his Culver's cap autographed by Colonel first baseman Matt Abram between innings. And Mr. Shucks presented the Culver's small fry of the game, Trey Alcott, with a certificate good for a free kids meal at either of the Culver's Frozen Custard or Butterburger restaurants here in our area. That's where you can register your son or daughter for their chance to take the field between innings of a Colonel game as our Culver's small fry of the game. Calix Crabb, a switch hitter, batting right, waits as Posey throws over to first, and Kennard Bibbs is back safely. One of the Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger locations where you can register your daughter or son for their chance to be chosen as our Culver's small fry of the game is right here on the southwest side in front of the Windsong 12 Theater Complex on Edgewood Road Southwest. Strike one on the outside corner to Calix Crabb. The other Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger location is in Hiawatha, I-380, Boyson Road, exit 5, right across from Allen Motor Company. Those are the two Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburger locations where you can register your child to be chosen as our Culver's small fry of the game. Micah Posey heaves a pitch out for ball one to Calix Crabb. Then Alex Dvorsky whipped the throw down to first, but getting back safely ahead of that throw was the go-ahead run, speedster Kennard Bibbs. The 1-1 to Crabb. Instead, a throw to first, and Bibbs is back safely. Kennard has 38 stolen bases this season. He's been caught 11 times. He's second in the league in steals. Calix Crabb is even on the count 1-1. Is Bibbs running? Yes, he's running. A ground ball to third. Diving stop by BJ. He throws the batter out. On to second with 2 out goes Kennard Bibbs. A terrific play by B.J. Weed. He had to dive to his left on the grass, smothered the ball, popped to his feet, and then looked like a natural. Looked like Brooks Robinson or Mike Schmidt as he popped to his feet and submarined his peg to first in time to get the batter, Calix Crabb. Runner at second, 2 away for the Snappers in the top of the third inning. 1-1 the score. Tony Gwynn Jr. at the plate with a chance to put Beloit back ahead in this game. Tony Gwynn Jr. grounded out to first baseman Matt Abram in the first inning. He's batting in the top of the third with a runner at second and 2 out. Now Micah steps off the rubber and looks Bibbs back to second base. Tony Gwynn Jr. is 2 for 12 in this series. A bunt single last night. Left-handed batter, black lacquer bat, and a swing and a miss on a terrific let-up from the Colonel lefty, Micah Posey. Big crowd here this afternoon, including TV9 anchorman Bruce Owney. Bruce is dressed in a beautiful breasted black suit with a red tie, and he's taking in the game right behind Ann and Erick Hearn. Bruce Owney. Ooh, a strike at the knees, and it's 0-2 to Tony Gwynn Jr. Micah Posey has allowed 1 run in 2 2/3 on 2 base hits, one of them a leadoff homer by Jeff Yore in the second. What will Micah bring in on an 0-2 pitch? A pitch in the dirt, blocked by Dvorsky. The ball dribbles about 10 feet in front of home plate. No harm done as Bibbs holds at second. It's been a wonderful 7-game homestand. The Kernels hope to make it a winning homestand with a victory here this afternoon. I'd like to say hello to a Kernel fan sitting just to the left of home plate in a red checkered shirt. It looks like he's tuned in. If he is, give us a wave. Well, he's eating some popcorn, so perhaps... There, yes, thank you very much, Kernel fan. That's great to know we have you listening in down below. Super. I bet that popcorn tastes good this afternoon. And that Kernel fan nodding, yes, it does. That popcorn is good. Tony Gwynn Jr. ropes one foul past first, and he's still in the hole, 1-2. There goes the Roadrunner. He was leaving the Kernel dugout to retrieve that baseball. Yeah, it's great to look around and see so many folks with those Walkmen on their heads enjoying the action while they listen on the zone. Great to have you listening in this afternoon wherever you are. We hope you're right here at the ballpark, where the Kernels and Snappers are tied at 1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning, or top of the 3rd inning, rather. Bibbs a short lead at second. Now Micah steps off the rubber. Micah Posey, in 55 innings and 10 previous starts, has given up just 47 hits. The southpaw has struck out 35 in 55 innings, walked 24. His ERA 3.11. Tony Gwynn Jr. hits a one-hop bullet to the base of the feet of Callaspo, and Alberto has it and throws Gwynn out. A hard-hit ball, a one-hopper to Callaspo, ends the Beloit threat in the top of the 3rd inning. For the Snappers in the 3rd, no runs. A 1-out single, 1 hit. There were no Kernel errors. The Snappers leave a runner, their second left of the day. And after 2.5, the Kernels and Snappers tied at 1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
If you're looking for something, there are many helpful tools. A telescope? When you're looking for something big. A microscope. When you're looking for something small. Or bare feet. Ow! When you're looking for lost Legos. But if you're looking for a family doctor, the most helpful tools are your telephone or your computer. Simply call Mercy Care Family Physicians at 369-4444 or visit our website at www.mercycaredoctors.com for all the details on the Mercy Care Family Practice location nearest you. You'll find the Mercy Care Family Physician best suited to your needs, including those who offer special services for... So if you're looking for a family doctor, choose the right tool for the job. Call 369-4444 or on the web at www.mercycaredoctors.com. Looking for a family doctor has never been easier.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin. You know, Hometown Restyling has served Eastern Iowans since 1986, providing the very finest in windows, siding, and sunrooms. Their experienced staff can handle the job from start to finish, including plans, permits, and inspections. Plus, Hometown Restyling is nationally recognized by Professional Remodeler, Qualified Remodeler, and Remodeling magazines. Call Hometown Restyling for your next remodeling project, or better yet, visit one of our beautiful showrooms in Hiawatha or Coralville. Hometown Restyling, because there's no place like home.
A 1-1 game, and the Kernels have the top of their order up to face lefty Jeff Hausman as we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Ransell walked but was left on in the 1st inning. Mel Guerrero, a .217 hitter with a homer, 17 RBI, shows bunt but takes high, ball 1. Ransell has left side covered in dirt. That's because he slid in hard to second, was forced out in the 1st inning. The 1-0. A strike at the knees, a fastball to Mel Guerrero. Tony Gwynn Jr. is playing into right center field, playing Ransell to hit the other way. Here's a pitch golfed into shallow left. I think it's going to fall. Diving effort by Bibbs. They really trapped it. And it's a base hit for Mel Guerrero. He hustles to second. Save! As Kennard Bibbs was pleading his case in shallow left, claiming that he caught that ball golfed into shallow left. Mel Guerrero was smart. Ransell never broke stride, and he snuck into second. He just stole a base. He simply caught the snappers asleep in their shell. Wow! Ransell Mel Guerrero is going to be credited with a double. And I can't tell with my naked eye. I thought that Bibbs trapped it. Then on the Rockwell Collins Game Leak, I honestly can't tell whether Ransell caught or whether Ransell's ball was caught or not by Bibbs. Here's a deep drive to left by Aybar. Adios! 3-1 Kernels! On to the Randy Keel Hoffman's Picnic Pavilion. Number 5 from the Eternal All-Star, Erick Aybar. Kernels lead for the first time this afternoon. 3-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. Boy, those kids out in the plaza section with those Freedom Festival thunder sticks are having just such a good time, making some thunder with those thunder sticks and cheering the hustling double off the bat of Mel Guerrero, followed by Erick Aybar's 2-run homer. Now Callaspo takes a ball, and the next pitch is pop foul back to the plate. It's 1-1 to Alberto. This crowd is still buzzing about that double off the bat of Mel Guerrero, a hustling double, and it was followed immediately by an Erick Aybar 2-run homer on to the Randy Keel Hoffman's Picnic Pavilion. Hey, we see some folks out of the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub enjoying themselves. Here's a little clunker into left center. Tony Gwynn Jr. gets on his horse and gallops in to make the grab. Alberto Callaspo flies out to shallow center. One away in the Kernel third inning. 3-1 Kernels. Jared Abruzzo was cheated out of a swing as he checked his swing and grounded out to short in the first inning. He takes outside, ball 1. Kirby, our great friend from the Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling Department, is down below. He's going to show those youngsters I spoke of in the plaza section and the entire stadium on the Rockwell Collins Game Link the dangers of disposing of your syringes. You should never put a syringe in your garbage or the recycling collection box. They need to be put in a Sharps box that you can purchase for a couple of dollars, or sealed in a plastic detergent bottle or plastic milk container and taken to the 6th Street drop-off center. Here's a pop foul out of play on a 3-0 pitch by Abruzzo. Jared was turned loose on a 3-0 count. It's 3-1 Kernels. We're in the bottom of the third inning. Boy, the joints are jumping here this afternoon. There's a pitch ripped into left field over the head of Kennard Bibbs, off the wall. Jared Abruzzo will go to second, and he'll standing up safely with his 21st double of the year. Jared Abruzzo on a 3-1 pitch. I mean, he hit a screaming line drive. It got over the head of Kennard Bibbs. It hit the angled portion of the left field wall, the part that juts away from home plate towards the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM home run hot tub. And it's a double for Abruzzo. He's in scoring position for Matt Abram. We've reached the top of the hour. And we want to remind you that you're tuned to Kernel Baseball here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. A line drive to first And a throw by Prince Fielder gets by the shortstop. Abruzzo to third. Save! An error will be charged to Prince Fielder after he caught the line drive off the bat of Matt Abram for the second out of the inning. Prince lobbed the ball to the shortstop Chaz Tierney. Tried to lob it to Tierney. He lobbed it right over his head into shallow left. And hustling, advancing by Jared Abruzzo. Jared went to third. He's at third with 2 out for Caleb Mayer. There should be 2 errors in this inning, or there should be 2 errors in this game charged to the Snappers. They did not charge an error to Pedro Esparagoza, who dropped the throw home that allowed Dvorsky to go to second in the second inning. Maybe they ruled that Alex was going to second anyway. Ball 1 inside to Mayer. Now a pitch nips the outside edge, evens the count to Caleb, 1-1. Caleb Mayer struck out in the second inning, but had a very good at bat. He hit about 4 pitches hard, foul. Houseman delivers low and away. Ball 2. Boy, you'd be amazed at how many youngsters come up to Kirby, who's standing right behind the umpire's tunnel, behind home plate, trying to drum up some more enthusiasm. You'd be surprised how many kids come up to Kirby and are just absolutely spellbound by his big smile and his red cap that has the logo of our great friends at the Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling Department on it. Ball 3 in the dirt to Mayer. Caleb is sitting on a hitter's count. Ball 4, high and inside. First and third, 2 out for Alex Dvorsky. That's the second walk issued by lefty Jeff Houseman. And the 7th man to bat here in the Kernel third inning is Alex Dvorsky. I want to remind you that you're listening to Kernel Baseball here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Allison Conley is our in-studio engineer. Allie Lensko, our broadcast assistant, has been thrust into some game day duties, some on-field promotion duties. She should join us later this afternoon. Dvorsky swings and misses at a slow curveball, strike 1. Alex singled in a run in the Kernel's second to tie the game at 1. Boy, the Kernels could use a 2-out jolt from Alex Dvorsky to pull further ahead of Beloit here in the third inning. Houseman turns the pitch over, and it sails outside. 1-1 to Alex. Good-sized crowd here this afternoon. Alex loops one into shallow right. It may fall. Nope, it's going to carry out to Mario Mendez for the final out of the inning. Alex Dvorsky's bid for a Texas League single was turned aside as Mario Mendez caught it in shallow right. In the third for the Kernels, 2 runs on 3 base hits. 1 Beloit error. The Kernels leave a pair. We've stranded 4. And after 3, the Kernels lead the Snappers 3-1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Syringes and needles can be a waste handler's worst nightmare. Imagine picking up a trash can or blue recycling bin and, ouch, being stuck. Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling wants you to keep our waste handlers safe and away from disease. All needles and syringes need to be disposed in sealed containers, like a Home Sharps container, milk container, or detergent bottle. These can then be dropped off at the main recycling center on 6th Street or at Blue Stem Site number 2. Help us keep our waste handlers safe.
If you don't stop by one of Jungi's 4 great locations, how will you know you got the very best deal? Stop in today at Jungi Lincoln Mercury Isuzu in Cedar Rapids, Jungi Ford and Jungi Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Center Point, and the new Jungi Chevrolet Pontiac in Anamosa. Now, 4 great locations, still one great name, Jungi.
Kroll Concrete Products in Hiawatha supplies you with the very best in brick, stone, and concrete material. Whether for residential or commercial projects, Kroll Concrete Products offers a wide selection of products and services, such as retaining wall block, precast steps, septic tanks, and stone engraving. Call Kroll Concrete today.
The Rock Shop can add style to your home with a bit of granite, marble, or natural stone. From countertops and islands to fireplaces and vanities, The Rock Shop does it all. Complete with an all-new showroom, The Rock Shop will be moving to 740 Casino Road this August. The Rock Shop in Hiawatha.
That thing is bogus. I'll explain in a minute. He did not degrade the players at all. The lady is stupid, but how the whole thing was We go to the top of the fourth inning. We want to say hello to some great folks that are behind the scenes making sure that this partnership between the Kernels and the Zone is one of the most healthy and vigorous. Here's a pitch pumped foul off the bat of Prince Fielder onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, strike one. There are a number of folks that work diligently down at 2nd Avenue and 5th Streets. First and foremost, Sports and Programming Director Scott Unash. Scott, thank you for all your help throughout these years. Here's a bouncer to second. Prince Fielder's thrown out by Callaspo. One gone in the Beloit fourth inning. 3-1 Kernels. Prince Fielder's 0 for 2 as the cleanup batter this afternoon. Scott Unash is one of the foremost gentlemen and professionals in this city and eastern Iowa as a whole. He's a great friend, a longtime colleague, and whenever he's in the broadcast booth to help me here at home, it just adds so much zest and knowledge and fun to the broadcast. And I know how hard Scott Unash works year-round to make KCRG and the Zone the sports leader in this community. And Scott, on behalf of all the fans here this afternoon, myself and the Kernel staff, we want to thank you for your great work. I hope you're tuned in as you get set for your afternoon show from 3 to 5 today. It's 2-0 to Jeff Yore, who homered to lead off the second inning. Now a strike on the outside corner. Scott Unash epitomizes professionalism in the field of sports broadcasting at every turn. The 2-1 to Jeff Yore. Swing and a miss on a changeup. A beautiful pitch from Micah Posey. Yore went out fishing for it, but his pole wasn't long enough, or his bait wasn't strong enough to catch the ball. One away, one out, nobody on. A tap back to Micah. Micah will spin and throw to first, and he gets Jeff Yore on a soft comebacker. 2 away in the Beloit fourth, nobody on, and 4 straight retired by the Kernel Southpaw. Scott Unash, thank you for all that you do to make the Zone and the Kernels a first-class partnership. Thanks to John Phelan, the general manager at KCRG, the Zone, and TV9. John has done just wonders in lifting the morale of everyone at KCRG with his kind manner. Here's a deep drive to right. Don't worry about it. Ransell is drifting back. He's on the warning track. He backpedals and then into the wall. His next step takes him as he tracks it down. I love watching Ransell Mel Guerrero play the outfield. He's the best outfielder I've seen in 8 seasons with the Kernels. A deep drive by Mendez, caught by Mel Guerrero in deep right. Down in order go the Snappers for the first time this afternoon. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Kernels 3, Beloit 1. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
It's time to come home to Mount Vernon during Heritage Days 2003, July 10th, 11th, and 12th in historic Uptown Mount Vernon. Experience everything good about small town living. Fabulous fireworks, picnic food, children's games, and live music. You'll find great values in the stores and arts, crafts, and family entertainment featured every day. Great music on Friday and Saturday, noon to midnight on the main stage. There's also a basketball tournament, the first annual, noon to 5 on Saturday. This invitation to attend Heritage Days 2003, Thursday through Saturday, July 10th to the 12th in Mount Vernon, is brought to you by Bridge Community Bank, Mount Vernon Insurance, Junction Auto Sales, Shepley Pharmacy, Mount Vernon Hardware, Mount Vernon Bank and Trust Company, and Hillcrest Country Club, home of the Heritage Days Golf Tournament on Friday and the fireworks on Thursday. Come on out to Mount Vernon and have fun at Heritage Days 2003. We'll see you there in Mount Vernon.
When it comes to retirement planning, think big. Think about an individual retirement account from Farm Bureau Financial Services. Call Mike Fetkether in Cedar Rapids to find out how an IRA can allow you to defer taxes until you retire. You have big plans for retirement. To help you get there, think Farm Bureau Financial Services and call Mike Fetkether in Cedar Rapids. Farm Bureau Financial Services, more than you think. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, West Des Moines, Iowa. Quan Cosby lays a bunt down. It should be a base hit. Out
but oh, what an effort by Kwan. And that's a weapon that Kwan needs to use more often. His bunt was picked up 8 feet in front of home plate by the catcher, Esparagosa. Pedro's throw was in the dirt, but a good dig at first by Prince Fielder. And Kwan was out by just a whisker. A good call by the base umpire, Aaron Banks. What an effort by Kwan Cosby, who singled his first time up. I love to see Kwan try to lay a bunt down. And I wish he'd do it way more often. Not a criticism of Kwan, just a reflection there of his great speed. That wasn't even a great bunt. It was a good bunt, not a great bunt, and he darn near beat it out. 1 out as Kwan tried to bunt his way on. It went 2-3. Now B.J. Weed, who struck out on a strike him out, throw him out double play in the second inning, fouls one off to the right, strike one. We want to continue with our good wishes to the folks working down at the Zone this afternoon. John Phelan, the general manager, terrific boss for those folks. John's one of those guys that if he sees me walking through the third floor, he'll welcome me into his office with a smile and a glad hand of genuine interest in how things are going. Ball 2 is up and into B.J. Tom Hearns the same way. You heard the high words of praise that former Iowa legendary coach Dwayne Banks had for Tom Hearn during Dwayne's visit here Tuesday night. Here's a drive into center, and Tony Gwynn Jr. is fading back and has it. Oh, B.J. Weed gave it a ride to rather deep right center, but Tony Gwynn had it beat on it all the way, and it's the second out of the Colonel fourth inning. Yes, we got many positive comments about Dwayne Banks' visit to the booth 2 nights ago, and Dwayne went out of his way to heap praise upon KCRG's sales manager, Tom Hearn, about what a gritty ball club that 1972 College World Series qualifying Iowa Hawkeye team was, including first baseman Tom Hearn. Ball 1 is down and away to Rancel Mel Guerrero. Rancel looks like Pigpen out of the Charlie Brown series. His white home uniform is covered in dirt. A drive into right, way back, maybe extra bases. It will be over the head of the right fielder, Mendez. Will Rancel try for 3? He's rounded second. He's going to try for third. Here's the throw. Safe! Triple for Rancel. You can say all you want about the excitement of the home run, but I still think a triple is one of the most electrifying plays in this great game. Rancel Mel Guerrero, from the first step out of the box, thought, I'm going to get 3. I'm going to get 3. Rancel patrols right field. The Snappers handled the relay perfectly. Mendez to Crab, a beautiful throw to Yore at third, but Rancel slid in underneath the tag for a triple. And now Erick Aybar, who homered onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion and left with Rancel at second in the third inning, takes ball 1 low. Houseman's changeup is down and in, ball 2. Rancel Mel Guerrero with a 2-out triple here in the Colonel fourth. The Colonels have now hit the Snappers 7-2. And wouldn't it be something if Erick could come through a ground ball, a diving stop by Yore. He throws low but out at first. Oh, Jeff Yore took a hit away and a run away from the Colonels. Aybar grounded it sharply to the left of the diving third baseman, who popped to his feet, almost threw it, but a good dig at first by Prince Fielder ends the Colonel fourth inning threat. No runs for the Colonels, a 2-out triple by Rancel. There were no Beloit errors. This is an alarming number. The Colonels leave 1, and we've stranded 5 batters in the first 4 innings of this game. After 4, Colonels on top of the Snappers 3-1. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Remember when you were a child and there was a safety patrol person near your school to make sure you could cross the street safely? Don't you wish you had a safety patrol with you to help you conduct your life safely? Scott Draper, your Pekin insurance agent at Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion, can help you feel safe with the right insurance coverages. For the right insurance for your home, auto, life, health, and business, see your Pekin insurance agent. Scott Draper at Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion.
Budweiser True Music is music created for real music lovers by real musicians, like Tyler Connolly of Theory of a Dead Man.
I know a guy that has actually got a routine he does. He goes, well, from 8 to 10 a.m. I do songwriting, and then from 10 to 11 I do yoga. And I'm like, dude, you can't do that. You know, you just got to, just like, to me, when it comes to me, it comes to me. I'm not going to force anything.
This moment of true music was brought to you by Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you can't get enough of the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM, why not join our team?
Are you ready?
We're looking for highly motivated people with sales, communication, and marketing skills to represent the best sports radio station in town. If you're interested in playing for the Zone's A team, slide into our studios at 501 2nd Ave in Cedar Rapids, or email your resume to soundoff@thezone1600.com. Your future is calling. Get in the game. Get in the zone. ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
The first pitch from Micah Posey to Adam Heather here in the top of the fifth is dribbled foul past third, strike one, 3-1 Kernels, top of the fifth inning. We want to thank Demetrius Hages. Demetrius has done wonders, we understand, on the Zone's website. And Demetrius got us all together for a very fruitful meeting yesterday here at the new Veterans Memorial Stadium. As we continue to salute, recognize, and thank the great folks that make these broadcasts so good on the Zone. Here's a pitch pop foul into the plaza section beyond the Papa John's Plaza. Strike two to the right-handed batter, Adam Heather. It's the lower third of the snapper order here in the top of the fifth inning. The only run the Snappers have against Colonel lefty Micah Posey. A leadoff homer into the dark green hitter's screen above the center field wall by Jeff Yore, leading off the second. Here's a looper over the head of Callaspo, an 0-2 pitch, and credit Adam Heather. He has reached as he went the other way and just did sneak one out of the reach of Callaspo, an 0-2 single into right by Adam Heather. Micah Posey is wearing his Red Sox high this afternoon. He's wearing a long-sleeve red shirt underneath his Colonel white home top. Micah sporting the Colonel home cap, a blue cap with a red bill. 3-1 Kernels, top of the fifth inning. Here's the first pitch to Pedro Esparagoza. A high pop-up into shallow center. This could be trouble. It could be trouble. Quan on the run has it. Quan on the run has it. Boy, that thing hung up a lot longer than I thought it would. And when I saw Callaspo stop going after it at shortstop, or Aybar rather, I knew Quan likely had a good chance to catch it, and that's indeed what happened. And a special thanks and hello to Betty down at the reception desk at 2nd Avenue and 5th Streets, KCRG. Betty is as delightful a person as you'll ever meet. What's your first impression of an organization? It's who greets you and how you're greeted. Are you greeted like you mean something, like you're important? Are you greeted with a smile? Are you looked in the eye? And Betty does all of that and more as she lays out the red carpet to everyone who enters the lobby at KCRG. Betty has helped me countlessly throughout the years with special needs and projects, and I thank her for all of that. Here's another pitch looped into shallow center. Aybar back and 5 feet into the grass in shallow center. The Colonel All-Star shortstop gloves it. Chaz Tierney took a slow-motion swing and hit a weak pop-up into shallow center for the second out of the Beloit fifth inning. The Colonels maintain a 2-run lead, 3-1. The batter, Kennard Bibbs, he's trouble. He's walked and singled. He's hitting .385 against Colonel pitching this season, .283 overall. Kennard Bibbs out of Oklahoma City College. Left-handed batter. Strike one at the letters from Micah Posey, 20-year-old lefty from Tallahassee. His family was visiting here earlier on this homestand. They may still be here. Oh, great. Here's a swing and a miss on a changeup. I've just found out from Alan Bernard, our director of stadium operations, that the Poseys are still here, and I'd love to meet Micah's father. Would absolutely love that thrill to meet Micah Posey's dad. A swing and a miss on a changeup, and Kennard Bibbs is in the hole, 0-2. Bibbs waits as the pitch is headed home. It's outside. And, of course, we want to thank all the great engineering staff at KCRG. Kirk Schroeder, Nels, and Phil. Those three guys are geniuses as far as I'm concerned. Kirk Schroeder, Nels, and Phil. The runner goes, a curve high, the throw to second. Safe. Throw in the dirt, and beating the throw was Adam Heather. His stolen base is his second in 5 attempts. Heather's at second with 2 out. A 2-2 count on Kennard Bibbs. There are countless others that make the operation so excellent at KCRG, but those are the ones that we wanted to specifically recognize this afternoon. The 2-2. Uh-oh, a deep drive to right, way back over Mel Guerrero's head, off the wall. 1 run is in to make it 3-2 Kernels, and Kennard Bibbs has struck again. A 2-out double belted over the head of Ransell. Adam Heather scores to make it 3-2 Kernels. Kennard Bibbs has yet another hit against Kernel pitching. Bibbs reaches for the 3rd time today. Kennard Bibbs, get this, Kernel fans, Kennard Bibbs is 12 for 28. 12 for 28 against Kernel pitching this year. 12 for 28. That's phenomenal. He's in scoring position for Calix Crabb. Remember, the Kernels have left 5 men on today, and that's really hurt us already. Crabb fouls one into the screen, strike 1. Calix, another Kernel nemesis, has been held in check so far today. He's grounded to short and grounded to third. If we can get Calix Crabb, the Kernels will remain ahead in this game. Let's hope we can get him. Switch hitter batting right. Ball 1 up and away from Micah. A leadoff single by Adam Heather. He stole second with 2 outs, and he scored on a double to right by leadoff batter Kennard Bibbs. Now ball 2 down and in to Calix Crabb. C-A-L-L-I-X. I have never heard that first name before. Calix Crabb, C-R-A-B-B-E. He's ahead 2-1. Strike 2 called on the outside corner at the knees. Tyne run at second. Kennard Bibbs, 2 out. 5th inning. A looper into left right at Caleb Mayer. He's there and has it. Calix Crabb flies out to left. The Kernels maintain their lead. It's now shaved to 1 run. In the 5th inning for the visitors, 1 run on 2 base hits, a stolen base. There were no Kernel errors. Beloit leaves a runner. They've left 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Kernels now leading Beloit 3-2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Blooming! All summer long, Peck's Flower and Garden Shop can bring beautiful color to your yard, garden, and home. Stop in and see the brightly blooming perennial plants, rose bushes, and flowering shrubs. All are potted, growing, and ready to plant in your yards and gardens. Browse through the acres of plants at Peck's and pick up some growing tips from our expert staff. While at Peck's, don't forget to take a stroll through the florist shop and celebrate summer with the finest fresh flowers, indoor blooming plants, and lush houseplants. Plus, home and garden accents galore. Remember, it's not too late to enjoy beautiful plants and flowers at your home this summer. Peck's Flower and Garden Shop, growing with the Cedar Rapids area since 1956. Peck's at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Roads Northeast.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's your patio? Your patio. Charbroiled sausage flipping man with the buzz, who's your patio? Your patio. Keone cooks Clements, #1 for taste and fun.
Econo Foods is the place to save on Clements Fine products this week. Shop Econo Foods for hot pricing on Clements.
Boy, do we have a great treat here. Mike Posey, Micah's father, and little 3-year-old Major, who was our Culver's small fry of the game the other night. Major, you sure are a great kid. Micah loves you so much. A pitch up and away, and it's 2-0 to Alberto Callaspo. Well, Mike Posey, on behalf of this entire organization, we want to tell you what a credit your son is to this team and this community. Micah, I've said many times, you'd never know he was 20 years old because of how polite he is.
Probably his mother raised him right. We have 3 children. Micah's the oldest of 3.
Oldest of 3.
Right.
And then little Major is 3?
He's 3 years old. Just turned 3 in May. So.
Well, Mike Posey, thanks for visiting Cedar Rapids. A 3-1 pitch is a chopper to short. Chaz Tierney unloads to get Alberto Callaspo. Alberto, the league's leading hitter, is 0 for 3 so far this afternoon. We're in the bottom of the 5th, and the Kernels lead at 3-2. Well, Mike Posey, I've asked Mike a couple of times how he liked getting a chance to play high school baseball at the Christian Academy you're a faculty member at, and he said he wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, we had a good time. It was enjoyable to coach your son, and I probably was tougher on him than most, and but he learned real well. He's hung around the ballpark all his life. He's growing up in being a bat boy and hanging out, and so he kind of grew up with it. And we had a good time. It was fun to have your son every day at practice and ride home with him after practice.
You can unwind with him and have that so-called quality time. 1-0 to Abruzzo as the lefty Jeff Hausman misses low. Jarrett, a switch hitter, the Kernel cleanup batter this afternoon, doubled in the 3rd inning. 3-2 Kernels. We've out-hit the Snappers 7-4. We've left 5 men aboard in 4 innings, and hopefully can give Micah Posey, our starter this afternoon, a little more breathing room as his father Mike is here and his little brother Major. The 2-0. A high pop-up. This will not be an easy play in this league. This is a tough play. Pedro Esparagoza, though, makes it well as he takes it in on the outer perimeter of the dirt batting circle. Jared Abruzzo is fouled out to his counterpart, not this afternoon. Abruzzo's the DH, but he fouls out to Pedro Esparagoza for the second out of the Kernel 5th inning as lefty Jeff Hausman tries to retire the Kernels in order for the first time this afternoon. Well, Mike Posey, are you a lefty as well?
No, I'm not. I'm a right-hander, and I have a younger brother that's left-handed.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. Just growing up, Micah naturally picked up left-handed. He writes right-handed, and he's right-handed. That's the only thing he does left-handed is throw. So.
Well, he's throwing darn well for a second-year pro. Golly, I'll tell you, he was telling me, I said, Micah, didn't all the big boys come knocking at your door like Miami and Florida State? He said, John, Florida State's a dirty 2-letter word in my household. He said Miami and Florida, not to degrade or knock their programs, as Matt Abram falls in the pole 0-2, swatting one foul into the screen. He said, unless a guy throws a certain high velocity, they tend to shy away from you. And it just proves that velocity is very low on the list to being an effective pitcher.
Yeah, I think Michael kind of developed late. His junior year was really a good junior year, and his senior year had a good senior year. But I think his velocity started coming on late in the senior year. And I think he needed to go to junior college. I thought that process would be good for him. And then he was fortunate enough to get drafted in a pretty good position, and they followed him his freshman year. Here's
a lazy fly ball stroked into right center by Matt Abram. Over to get it is Tony Gwynn Jr. And the Kernels indeed are retired in order for the first time this afternoon in the bottom of the 5th inning. Our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question comes your way in the top of the 6th inning. Remember, it'll be about the All-Star game. The Kernels go 1-2-3-0 across in the bottom of the 5th. And we'll see if Mike Posey has just a few more minutes. His little son Major's a bit of a wiggle worm, which is natural for a toddler, but Bill Harrington, who houses Micah Posey as his Kernel host family, seems to have kind of a grandfatherly calming effect on little Major Posey. After 5, it's the Kernels 3, the Snappers 2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
This is an emergency. This isn't. Say it's an evening or a weekend, and you have a, or perhaps even a, you don't need, but you'd rather not, for your doctor's office to open. That's when it's time to visit a Mercy Care Urgent Care Clinic. Just walk in, limp in, or even crawl in. And a Mercy Care physician will help you feel better, faster. There's a Mercy Care Urgent Care Clinic near you. Mercy Care North on Collins Road Northeast, and the new Mercy Care South on Edgewood Road Southwest. Open Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 9 p.m., and weekends, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So, next time you have... visit a Mercy Care Urgent Care Clinic in your neighborhood.
Papa John's pizza, it's so good. Better is best, that's understood. Better call Papa John's tonight. Better call Papa, he's got it right. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Attention baseball fans, call your local Papa John's for our home run special. Get a large pizza with up to 3 toppings of your choice for only $9.99.
Papa John's. Better call Papa.
Well, Bill Harrington, who answered our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question correctly last night, citing Carl Hubble as the lefty who used his screwball to strike out 5 future Hall of Famers, is here. And Bill was wondering about our question a couple of nights ago when the Peoria Chiefs were in town. Here's a bunt, and it should be a base hit. It will be for Tony Gwynn Jr. And again, we hearken back to what an effective weapon and what a lost art that is at all levels of professional baseball. Tony Gwynn made such a good bunt that the Kernels just had to pick it up between the mound and first. Matt Abram did that, a bunt single for Tony Gwynn Jr., and there's a man at first with nobody out here in the 6th inning. He's the tying run, and the batter is Prince Fielder. Mike Posey is with us, and Bill Harrington, his Micah Posey, Mike's son, who's pitching right now to Prince Fielder. A ground ball, base hit into right. It could have been a double play had it been hit at Callaspo, but it was hit in the hole, and stopping at second is Prince Fielder. So a bunt single and a ground ball single into right. And I bet, even though the batter, Jeff Yore, has 11 home runs, including 1 this afternoon, my bet is that Don Money, who's calling the shots from the third base Beloit dugout, will have Yore bunting. Don Money not coaching at third. His hitting coach is doing that this afternoon, Mike Guerrero. Don Money loves to bunt. The Kernels get Adrian Goaz up in their bullpen. Bill Harrington wondered about the answer to one of our trivia questions from the Springhouse earlier on this homestand. We asked you to name 2 of the 3 Cardinals that won National League MVPs in the 60s, and Bill got one of them right, Bob Gibson. Yore is not bunting. I was wrong. Ball 1 in the dirt. The other 2 were Orlando Cepeda and Kenny Boyer, Bill Harrington. And as a Cardinal fan, I'm sure you appreciate that. We do have a Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you here in this top of the 6th inning. Micah's 1-0 delivery to Yore. A comebacker off Micah's glove. Everybody will be safe as Aybar throws to third. A tough break for the Kernels. A broken bat. I don't think we'd have gotten a double play because it wasn't hit hard. It flicked off Micah's mitt and died at shallow shortstop. A cheap infield single. And now Erick Bennett, the Colonel pitching coach, out of the Colonel dugout. Beloit has a grand opportunity to tie this game or take the lead here in the top of the 6th inning. Tough break for Micah. Remember what started the inning? A bunt single, and that's why I'm a huge advocate of the Colonels doing more bunting like Quan Cosby almost successfully did his last time up. Now, if you've been one of our 45 different Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question winners this spring or summer, that's fantastic. You've already won a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse, and you've already won a wooden token for a free cup of coffee at the Springhouse. Please don't call in this afternoon. Allie Lensko, our broadcast assistant, has been assigned most of this game, at least so far, to do on-field promotion duties. So if you're used to hearing the beautiful professional voice of Allie, you're stuck with me here this afternoon with the bases loaded and nobody out. Here's Mario Mendez. He's 0 for 2. And he hits a pitch on the outside edge up into the Miller Mezzanine Terrace. It lands in some lady's lap, and I think she's fine. Unbelievable that a foul ball would land right in the lady's lap. It's 0-1 to Mario Mendez. We're challenging your baseball knowledge with our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Mendez takes strike 2 called on the inside corner. The Spring House serves pizza every night, Saturday all day. That's right. You may not have thought about the Spring House before as a great place for pizza, but it is. The Spring House serves pizza every night and all day on Saturday. The 0-2 from Micah to Mendez. A looper to second. No advancement. Callaspo has it. Mario Mendez pops out to second. Mike Posey, we're not out of the woods yet, but Micah came right in on the batter's hands.
The hitter. He's trying to get a ground ball or something in the infield to try to get a double play, but that was very effective.
Oh, it sure was. Remember, only one ball has left the infield in this sixth inning. The bases are loaded with one out. Adam Heather singled to right and scored his last time up. 3-2 Kernels, top of the sixth inning, bases loaded. Heather's out of Long Beach State. We'll have our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you in a moment. Ball one, down and away. In fact, Mike Posey, could you hand me that index card underneath that? Yes, right there. You listeners know that we've challenged you all the last several home games with questions about the All-Star game. A pitch right in on the batter's hands, and Adam Heather lifts it foul behind home plate, strike one. Well, Allie Lensko will take the calls this afternoon. Allie has made it up here, and Allie's going to take your phone calls. And every once in a while, we give a Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question that we consider kind of a piece of cake or on the easy side. I hope you'll find this question in that category. Micah delivers high and away, ball two. Here's our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Which league won last year's All-Star game? Which league won last year's All-Star game? Which league won last year's All-Star game? 896-7615. 896-7615. 896-7615, the number to call for the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. 896-7615. The 2-1 to the right-handed batter. Cork foul past third, strike two. We have a Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question for you. Last year's All-Star game was at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Which league won the All-Star game last year? The phone is rung for the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. And we have a winner already. We have a winner already in our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Mike Posey, I think a lot of folks could have answered it.
Yeah, if they're paying attention last year, it was a tie ball game.
Yes, we'll review that in a moment. Micah Posey steps off the rubber. He's working from the stretch with Tony Gwynn Jr. at third, Prince Fielder at second, Jeff Yore at first, one out, and a 2-2 count on the batter, Adam Heather. In 11 games, he's batting .216. Swing and a miss, strike three! Micah Posey used his best pitch. Father Mike Posey, his great changeup to get the bewildered batter. Strike three swinging.
It was a good pitch, changeup. He was battling up there to put the ball in play, but he got him to swing over top of it.
Wow, Mike Posey, a terrific pitch by Micah. Mike, who's here besides yourself and little 3-year-old Major?
Well, Micah's mom, Marcia Posey, is here, and then his sister, Mandy, she left yesterday to go back. She's starting at college. She had to go play. She plays volleyball.
Oh, great.
She start practices at the end of this week. So.
Now, Mike is about my height. How tall is your daughter?
My daughter's 5'9", and she's a good volleyball player.
Here's a high pop-up into shallow right. Mel Guerrero there. He has it. Micah Posey pitches out of a bases-loaded, no-out jam. And his father, Mike Posey, was here to watch Micah pitch out of the bases-loaded, nobody out jam. Pedro Esperagoza flies to right, and that ends the sixth inning for the Snappers. The Kernels have the momentum back in this game. In the sixth for Beloit, no runs, 3 hits to load the bases with nobody out, and then Micah Posey got Mendez to pop the second, struck out Adam Heather, and got Pedro Esperagoza, first pitch swinging, to fly out to shallow right near the line where the ball was caught by Rancel Mel Guerrero. No runs, 3 hits, no Colonel errors. The Snappers lead 3. They've stranded 6. Mike Posey, we're going to send you Well, we're going to keep you here. What's your schedule? Would you like to stay for one more half inning? Okay, but we're going to give you a tape. And you get a souvenir. We're going to give you that 6th inning as a memento.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We'll be congratulating our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question winner after 5.5. Kernels 3, Beloit 2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
You save big money when you shop Menards.
Stock up with lawn care and car care savings at Menards. Keep your lawn and garden green with a Nelson Oscillating Sprinkler on sale for just $7.88. Decorative sprinklers start at just $9.99. A great selection of garden hoses is also on sale at Menards. An 80-foot heavy-duty garden hose with crush-proof couplings is only $14.95. Plus, keep your car or truck looking sharp with great deals on automotive cleaners at Menards. Choose from Tire Cleaner, Interior Protected, or Cleaner Degreaser, just 29 cents after rebate. 20-ounce Rain-X Wash and Wax is only $2.49. Plus, enter to win a Ford Explorer Sport Track. See store for details. For a green lawn and shiny car, shop Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
The all-new Ellis Golf Course is ready for play, so let's mark the occasion with some rounds on the house. Visit Twin Pines, Jones, or the Ellis Pro Shops and mention the Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM. Register with the staff, and if your entry is picked, you play, no pay. Ellis is now open. Make your tee time now. All 18 holes have been redesigned. There's a new driving range and a fully merchandised pro shop. This beautiful new facility is truly the signature golf course for Cedar Rapids. Experience the all-new Ellis Golf Course for yourself. Cedar Rapids Municipal Golf, serving your needs to a tee.
A new hurler has come on for Beloit, Ryan Tritton, and he promptly hits Micah Posey in the back. I know Micah's folks are listening out in Modesto, California. Don't worry, Micah's fine. He's leading off first. And Ryan Tritton, a right-hander, drops a curveball. Looked good from here, but low. Ball 1 to Dvorsky. Ryan Tritton, Trytten, has taken over for lefty Jeff Hausman here in the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll give you the final line on Hausman momentarily. Ball 2 almost hit the batter, Alex Dvorsky. Hausman went 5 innings, surrendered 3 runs on 7 hits. The lefty Hausman struck out 2 Kernels, and he walked 2 as well. A strike from Ryan Tritton, a right-hander, to Alex Dvorsky. Alex, an RBI single back in the Kernels' 2nd inning. 3-2 Kernels, bottom of the 6th inning. The Kernels have the momentum in this game thanks to Micah Posey working out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the top of this inning. We have a winner to congratulate in our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question. Our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question. I have been saying that Micah Posey's at first base. It's Caleb Mayer. I'm so sorry with his father, with Micah Posey's father, Mike Posey, sitting next to me. Allie is used to my harebrained poor memory, Mike. I'm sorry.
That happens to all of us.
Yeah, it does, especially when you reach my age. Well, it's Caleb Mayer at first base. I've been saying Micah Posey, Caleb Mayer. A pitch in the dirt to Dvorsky, a full count to Alex. Here's the payoff pitch. Low and away, ball 4, and Quan Cosby will likely be called upon to bunt in this 3-2 game in favor of the Kernels. The Kernels have their first 2 on with nobody out. Remember, pizza is served nightly at the Springhouse, and on Saturday all day long, pizza at the Springhouse. Our Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question: which league won last year's All-Star Game? And Jay Kamen of Silverthorne Road, Jay Kameen of Silverthorne Road, northeast in Cedar Rapids, knew the right answer. So does Micah Posey's dad, Mike Posey. Mike knew the answer to the Springhouse Family Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question. Mike, which league won last season's All-Star Game?
It was a tie game.
That's right.
11 innings and ran out pitching.
That's exactly right. And you can talk, it's been a big topic about how major leagues have tried to remedy or keep that from happening again. Some are pleased with the idea of making it count for all the marbles for the 7th game of the World Series. I think there's a much better way. I'll espouse my theory in a moment. Ball one is low to Quan Cosby. Jay Kameen, congratulations, Jay. You've earned a certificate good for $5 at the Spring House, as well as a wooden token for a free cup of coffee at the Spring House. Jay Kameen, our Spring House Family Restaurant baseball trivia question winner. Ball one low to Quan. He was not bunting. He swings late and misses, strike one. Quan Cosby, I thought, would be bunting here in the bottom of the sixth. He may still, so far. He's swinging away. Quan tried to bunt his way on, leading off the fourth inning, and he was thrown out on a good play behind the plate by Pedro Esparagoza. We're in the bottom of the sixth. It's 3-2 Kernels, and the Kernels have runners at first and second with nobody out. Quan is squaring to bunt. It's a good bunt. The only play is to first. Esparagoza throws. Safe. Bases loaded. Mike Posey, it was a bang play. I thought the snappers might argue. They did not argue. Quan Cosby bunting about 10 feet in front of home plate, maybe 15 feet. Beat it out.
I was a little surprised. He's very fast. The catcher came to look at third base and just don't have time to do that with a quick runner like that. Yes,
the catcher Esparagoza really shouldn't have even looked at third.
He only plays at first, and with a runner like that, you just come up and throw. He did that earlier in the game and threw him out. So I was surprised he looked at third.
Quan is aboard. I'm going to rule it a infield single. It may be a fielder's choice. We'll ask Rob Schulte or Rod. We'll ask Rod to give us his explanation between innings. Here's B.J. Weed with the bases loaded and nobody out. A looper into left. Get down, baby. Get down. Kennard Bibbs comes on and catches it. And a quick 3 steps down the line by Mayer, but Caleb held. Oh, B.J. Weed swinging at the first pitch. Flies out to shallow left. The Kernels have left 5 men aboard. And now the key man in the inning is Mel Guerrero. Ransell has walked, doubled, and scored, and tripled. He's had a great afternoon. We're in the bottom of the sixth. The Kernels trying to add to a 3-2 lead. Brian Tritton came on for the starter. Lefty Jeff Hausman here to start this sixth inning. Ryan Tritton, Trytten, 3-4 on the year with a 7.53 ERA. He started 4 games. This is his 19th relief appearance. Ransell takes a curve high, ball one, from Ryan Tritton. Mike Posey, the proud father of a daughter who's headed back to Florida to get ready for the volleyball season. A 3-year-old toddler, Major Posey, and Colonel starting pitcher Micah Posey is with us. A bouncer to third, and off the glove of the third baseman. A run scores. Everybody's safe. It'll either be an error on Jeff Yore or an infield single for Mel Guerrero. For right now, they've ruled it an infield single, and it's 4-2 Kernels. Now, Mike Posey, as a baseball expert of sorts, anyone who coaches baseball in Florida has my recommendation as being an expert. Yore could have thrown home had he fielded it cleanly.
That's fielder's choice. I think you would have to give him an error because there's a play at the plate.
Yeah, he could have thrown home. They've given him a hit. They've given Mel Guerrero a hit. They easily could have given him Yore an error.
That's the discretion of the
Sure. It could have gone either way. And we certainly...
I think on the road, that's an error.
Right. You've got the hometown scoring down exactly right, Mike. Mel Guerrero drives in a run with an infield single. They're still loaded, and the batter is Aybar, who takes low, ball one.
Either way, you take the run.
That's right. Either way, the Kernels lead it 4-2.
I was confused last night when I hit the umpire and I seen the runner by the third. I didn't.
I'll go over that with you. I had Lanny Peterson, a long-time respected and really legendary umpire, came into this booth to explain that, and I'm glad you asked about it, Mike. I was confused as well. I'll tell you what the ruling is. The 1-0 to Erick. A little tap to short. The throw to second out. Throw to first not made. 5-2 Kernels. Erick Aybar drives in a run as he forces Mel Guerrero at second. 6-4 Kearney to Crabb. Aybar reaches on a fielder's choice. He drives in the second run of the inning. Alex Zaborski came home from third. Quan Cosby went on to third. It's first and third, 2 out. 5-2 Kernels, bottom of the sixth inning. Alberto Callaspo stands in with the chance to make it a big inning for the Kernels. Mike Posey, according to Lanny Peterson, who knows the rules better than anybody I know, when the umpire is stationed on the inside of the infielders like he is now and a ball strikes him.
Dead ball.
Exactly. And if you're forced from a base, the batter gets first. If you're forced from a base, which the runner at first was, he got second. There was nobody at second, so the guy at third who scored had to go back.
Outfield side is
yes. Boy, Mike. Yep. Well, Lanny Peterson set me straight.
That doesn't happen often.
No, I was telling Allie she's lucky to see it last night. The 0-1.
That was a hard hit.
Pops out of the middle of the catcher. Throw to second. Safe. Throw home. And safe. Safe. Juan bowled over the catcher. Safe. Another man trying to score. Throw home. Out. Out. But what an exciting play to make it the Kernels 6 and Beloit 2. Juan Callaspo dashed home as a pitch was in the dirt. Aybar went to second. He was safe. Juan came home from third. He bowled over the catcher. He bowled over Pedro Esperagoza. He scores. He scores to make it 6-2. Aybar, as the ball squirted away from the catcher, tried to score all the way from second after he stole second. He was out. That play went 2-1. 2-1 to end the sixth inning. In the sixth inning for the Kernels, 3 runs on 2 hits. Neither left the infield. 1 walk, a hit batter, and no Beloit errors. And the Kernels leave the bases empty. Again, that last play in the sixth, a pitch in the dirt. Juan held at third. Aybar stole second ahead of the throw by Esperagoza. The man at short, Tierney, or Calix Crabb rather, the second baseman, threw back to the plate, and Juan used his football ability, lowered his shoulder, nothing dirty or unsportsmanlike, just lowered his shoulder and rammed into the catcher who dropped the ball, and Juan scored. The ball leaked to the right of the plate. The catcher picked it up and threw to the pitcher covering. Out at the plate was Aybar. We go to the top of the seventh inning. The Kernels lead Beloit 6-2. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Nature provides a built-in mechanism for animals to get ready for their future. Animals start hoarding food in the early autumn, knowing it will be scarce during the winter. We don't seem to have that same kind of savvy. Pekin Insurance Agent Teresa Brunsheen at Family Insurance Center in Monticello can help you plan ahead. Teresa can help you make sure you have the right insurance coverages for your particular needs. Nature's message is clear. Prepare. See Teresa Brunsheen, your Pekin Insurance Agent in Monticello at Family Insurance Center.
Toyota takes another leap forward in material handling efficiency. Hop Toyota Lift would like to introduce you to the new Toyota AC Electric Forklift. AC technology provides unprecedented acceleration, dramatically increasing operator cycle times, thus increasing production. And because DC components are no longer needed, you will significantly lower your maintenance costs. A clean running, dependable unit is the result. Coupled with today's attractive interest rates, there's never been a better time to join Toyota's AC revolution. Contact Hub Toyota Lift in Cedar Rapids, Peoria, Des Moines, and Davenport. The Crown Plaza Five Seasons is Cedar Rapids' exclusive downtown hotel. Make plans to experience a spectacular view from the top of the Five. Start your day off with us for breakfast or make a lasting impression on your business associates by treating them to our signature pasta bar for lunch. For any occasion, enjoy an elegant dinner or Eddie Picard Jazz Trio in the city's only rooftop restaurant. Call 363-8161 for reservations.
Third, now taking a ball and now punching one foul down the right side is Chaz Tierney. He's leading off the top of the seventh. The Kernels lead it 6-2 behind Micah Posey, whose dad, Mike Posey, is here. And Mike, I know we've got to send you on your way shortly back to your 3-year-old son, Major, and back to your wife, but the 1-2 is strike 3 called on the inside corner. Chaz Tierney doesn't say a word to Will Robinson. He glares out at Micah Posey as if to say, Mike, how can you make that good a pitch on me?
It was a good pitch. Backed up a little bit on him, the inside part of the plate.
Strike 3 called. Well, Mike Posey, we have a great relationship with the Burlington Bees. Their broadcaster, Randy Wayhofer's a good friend of mine, and he speaks so highly of the Royal General Manager, Allard Baird, as the strike is in to the leadoff batter, Kennard Bibbs. I didn't realize, I'm sure our listeners would be intrigued to know, that you have a great friendship with Allard Baird.
Yeah, I've been working with him as an associate for about 10 years, and Allard hired me when he was a scouting supervisor in Florida. He's a great guy, a hard worker, one of the hardest workers in baseball. Worked his way up. He was a junior college coach. Of course, played a little bit in their organization. Then he was a junior college coach. Started as a scout and worked his way all the way up to general manager. Our team went down there before they moved to Arizona this year, and he showed the guys around, talked to them.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Well, that's neat. You enjoy scouting.
I enjoy it. I do some associate work in the Panhandle area, and I've had some opportunities to go full time. And the travel is. With high school baseball, you don't have to do a lot of traveling, so that's my family.
Yeah, your family's first.
But I do enjoy it. I do enjoy working with the people. You meet a lot of people, and
I know too. Kennard Bibbs and Micah ran a pitch in on him. Kennard spun out of the way. The ball caromed off his bat. He's still in the hole 0-2. Kennard Bibbs has reached base 3 times. His last trip up, he doubled over the head of Mel Guerrero to cut the Colonel lead to 3-2. Micah Posey worked out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the 6th inning. That gave the Colonels momentum. They parlayed that momentum into a 3-run bottom of the 6th and lead at 6-2 here in the 7th. Yeah. Swing and a miss on a curveball. Well, Mike Posey, I'm going to tell you this. That's Micah's 4th strikeout of the day. I'm the opposite of Micah. I used to get nervous when my mom or dad would come to a Little League game or a track meet. I was just that kind of kid. I can tell Micah is really pumped that you're here today.
He is. He's been looking forward to coming for a while. We've known about your trip for a month, and
isn't that great?
Yeah, he's excited. We spent a lot of time with him. Went out to dinner, and his little brother's got to see him, and his sister, and that's been good for him.
Well, we sure appreciate Major being our Culver small fry of the game the other night.
Yeah, we went to Culver's yesterday. It was good hamburgers.
Well, that's great.
Mike said, you got to go eat a hamburger there. We had a coupon, and we went out. It was really good.
Oh, that's super, Mike. We're proud of our partnership with Culver's, and I'm sure they'll be glad to hear that testimonial from you. A 2-0 pitch misses inside to Calix Crabb, and in a 6-2 game, I doubt if Crabb will be swinging on 3-0. The backside of his britches are torn open. Let's see if Micah can throw a strike. Yes, oh boy, they called it high, ball 4. That's just the second walk issued by the Colonel lefty, Micah Posey. Now he'll have to face Tony Gwynn Jr. with 1 on and 2 out here in the 7th inning. Here comes Erick Bennett, the Colonel pitching coach. Now, Micah, your son told me that you used to visit him on the mound. And what might Erick Bennett be imparting to 20-year-old your son Micah right now?
Well, number 1, to stay within yourself and do what you've been doing the whole game. And number 2, he starts to get tired a little bit. He loses his release point, and he starts to lean back a little bit, which causes you to separate. And that's one of the things I think he's doing right now. He's a little bit high, not as sharp, and you got to take a deep breath and stay with your mechanics and work through the fatigue a little bit.
Boy, it sounds like the same thing a track coach would tell a 400-meter hurdler the last 15 meters to stand tall and stay on your balls of your feet and lead with the knee. You need those physical cues when you fatigue.
And do the same thing you started with. Don't give in to the fatigue. Concentrate.
Yes.
This right here, a lot of it, all these kids have abilities. Just poise and concentration are the really big keys to get you through tight jams and important innings. And that's what these guys are learning. All of them are learning that.
That's right. I'm writing those 2 key words down, poise and concentration, as Adrian Goaz heats it up in the Colonel bullpen. A strike from Micah into the left-handed batter, Tony Gwynn Jr. We're in the top of the 7th. Mike Posey, Micah's father. Mike is pitching a beautiful game here again this afternoon. He's won 3, he's lost 3. This is his 11th start of the year. And his proud father, Mike Posey, is with us. The 0-1, the runner goes, a pitch low. No throw by Dvorsky, and they'll award Calix Crabb the base. I don't know if they'll give him a stolen base. I don't even know if I think Abram was holding the runner, but it doesn't really matter now. We need to get the batter with 2 out. Tony Gwynn Jr., he's even on the count, 1-1. Now he calls time. Mike Posey, in your scouting in the Panhandle, did you have the same impression that our manager did when he scouted Jeff Mathis?
Yeah, I saw Jeff in high school. We played against him. Micah pitched.
Did?
Yeah, they were a big rival right down the road. Micah pitched against him.
I never knew that.
In fact, I remember one time we lost to him. Micah lost to him 3-2, and he threw Jeff a changeup. He lost it in the lights, and he said, I said, you can hit a fastball. And Mike said, yeah, you can hit a changeup, too. He was a great competitor.
Yeah, that's a great competitor, and he's doing well with Rancho. Here's a looper into left. On the run, Caleb Mayer. Oh, it dropped. I thought he'd get there. It dropped. And Tony Gwynn Jr. has singled in a run to make it 6-3. Boy, oh boy, Tony Gwynn Jr. didn't hit it a lick, and the Kernels may go with a fresher pitcher, just as Mike Posey said. Boy, but you hate to see Micah lifted after making such a good pitch to Tony Gwynn Jr., and they're going to let him face Prince Fielder. Now, I believe, Mike Posey, that Prince is from Florida, too.
Prince is from down near Miami.
Okay.
He's from the lower part of Florida.
Prince Fielder at the plate, the first pitch. A line drive to Callaspo to end the inning. It was hit off the trademark, meaning Micah made a great pitch. Prince Fielder, first pitch swinging, ropes it to Callaspo. Seventh inning stretch is coming up. In the top of the seventh for Beloit, 1 run on 1 hit. No Kernel errors. The Snappers lead 1. They've stranded 7. Mike Posey, this has been another surprise. I thank you so much for raising such a wonderful family.
Thank you. Thank you for all y'all's support. And we listen to you on the internet and we enjoy all the games.
Well, Mike Posey, thank you.
And his grandparents are listening today.
All right. We'll say hello to them.
Hello, Mom and Dad. Enjoy you listening.
Well, that's great. Mike Posey, thank you so much. Mike's going to return to his wife and little 3-year-old son, Major Posey. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Kernels 6, Beloit 3. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Okay, so I'm dropping my daughter off at daycare, and as I'm walking out, I see myself in the double door. Uh-oh is right. My hair looks terrible. My ends are all scraggly, and my roots. Did you see my roots? I can't believe I've been walking around like this.
Have you tried cost cutters?
Oh, I'd love to get my hair done, but who has the time? With work and the kids, I barely have time to find matching socks, let alone time for my hair. Besides, I need the works.
Just go to Cost Cutters. They'll have you in and out and looking great in no time.
Yeah?
Yeah. At Cost Cutters, the stylist will keep you looking great with a new cut, some color, even highlights. Check out mine.
Oh, so Cost Cutters is your secret.
Yep. I even get my favorite products there. You know, shampoo, conditioner.
That's it. I'm going to Cost Cutters.
Right now?
My roots, thank you.
There are a dozen Cost Cutters here in our area, each offering a relaxed, convenient hair care experience with no appointments and no hassles. Cost Cutters makes things easy and affordable with professional stylists who care about you.
Cost Cutters. Live your life. We always have time for your hair.
The ability to read. Nothing's more important in predicting the future success of a child. Thanks to the generous, ongoing support of Toyota Financial Services, Kernel players visited a record 25 schools last spring to encourage children to read, with a series of dazzling rewards from Toyota Financial Services serving as incentives. An all-time high, 1,451 girls and boys read last summer. The Kernels salute Toyota Financial Services.
Opening up the Kernel 7th inning and grounding one up the middle. It's booted by Chaz Tierney, the shortstop. That's an error on Chaz. The official score, Rod Schulte, has correctly ruled an error on Chaz Tierney. Here's Abruzzo taking a backdoor curve, a strike. Back in the Kernel 3-run 6th inning. The Kernels lead this game 6-3 in the bottom of the 7th. An error has been charged on Pedro Esparagoza for dropping a ball when Quan Cosby bowled him over at the plate. 3 errors on Beloit thus this afternoon. Strike 2 from Ryan Tritton to Jared Abruzzo. We're in the bottom of the 7th at 6-3 Kernels. You're enjoying the fun of Kernel Baseball here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. The 0-2 instead of throw to first and the runner back. Well, we've had our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question, and now, as the Kernels bat in the 7th, the Kernels are proud to bring you our Kernel Did You Know question. Visit the Kernels online at kernels.com, Kernels. A change-up in the dirt, and down to second goes Callaspo. He's there with nobody out. A wild pitch charge to Ryan Tritton as he tried to get Abruzzo to chase a change in the dirt. Ball 1 to Jared. You can order tickets online at kernels.com or preview coming attractions this summer at the new stadium. You can also call our box office, 896-7615, 896-7615 to order Kernel tickets. I think Tritton may be throwing a knuckleball. It's high and away, ball 2 to Abruzzo. I'm going to get the glasses on Ryan Tritton It almost looks like he's throwing a knuckleball. The 2-2 to Jared. Ooh, it just missed low, and I'm almost sure it's a knuckleball. We're going to, after our Colonel Did You Know question, we'll send Allie Lensko, who has now joined us. She was here for the Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. We'll send Allie out to Mike Kuhlbeck to see if Mike thinks this fella throws a knuckler. Here's a tap to the right side. Prince Fielder will throw to the pitcher covering for the out. On to third goes Callaspo. The Colonel dugout will give Abruzzo the glad hand as Jared did his job. He got a Callaspo to third by hitting the ball to the right side of the infield. And there's that Colonel dugout pouring towards Abruzzo to high-five him. Allie, our Colonel Did You Know questions have revolved around All-Star games. I can't remember if you were here on Mother's Day earlier this spring when we had 40-mile-an-hour winds here.
I don't remember either.
It was a Sunday. It's when we had little Carter Chapman with us.
Yeah, I think I was, yes.
It was a brutal day in terms of wind and wind chill. A slider down and away, a strike called to Matt Abram. Well, the windiest ballpark in baseball history, believe it or not Wrigley Field in Chicago. The current home of the San Francisco 49ers, the former home of the Giants, Candlestick Park. Infield in, Abram takes a curve, strike two. And Allie, that is our subject this afternoon, our Colonel Did You Know question.
That's right. And our question today is, I guess it's a question.
Yeah, a rhetorical.
Did you know that in the 1961 All-Star Game at San Francisco's Candlestick Park,
a drive into center over the head of Tony Gwynn Jr. He can't get it. It goes to the wall. And trotting home to make it 7-3 is Callaspo on a booming double bashed over the head of Tony Gwynn Jr. by Matt Abram. Matt Abram has his second hit of the day as he hit a laser beam, a missile over the head of Tony Gwynn Jr., scoring from third Callaspo, and the Colonels lead it here in the seventh, 7-3. Boy, that Matt Abram is swinging some hot bat for the Colonels as he walloped a double over the head of Tony Gwynn Jr. Well, Allie, right as you were launching into your Colonel Did You Know question, Abram came through with the RBI double. Let's backtrack and start again.
All right. Well, did you know that in the 1961 All-Star Game at San Francisco's Candlestick Park, a stiff wind played havoc with the fielders and the pitchers?
Ball one low to Mayer.
A couple examples here of what happened. 7 errors were committed during the game. 7 errors.
Now Caleb on a 1-0 pitch wraps it to shallow short. Chaz Tierney charges and throws Caleb out. On to third goes Matt Abram. Allie Lensko continuing to justify our Colonel Did You Know question by citing specific examples of a stiff wind in 1961 at Candlestick Park that played havoc in that 61 All-Star game. Allie, how many errors?
7 errors. It's a lot.
Yes, it is.
And also, the National League reliever, Stu Miller, was charged with a balk when he was blown off the mound in the middle of his windup. So it must have been pretty strong wind.
And Stu Miller, of all things, was a San Francisco Giant, but he was blown off the mound by, I don't think stiff wind is the right term I used. It was probably in Candlestick Park, Allie, nearly gale force winds. Have you ever been to San Francisco?
I never have, no.
Well, let me tell you something about it. You've heard of Mark Twain, haven't you?
Yeah.
A curve is a strike to Dvorsky. Mark Twain, the longest winter he ever spent was a summer in San Francisco.
The longest winter he ever spent?
It gets awful cold.
Yeah, it's like, why is that?
The longest winter Mark Twain ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. It's 2-1 to Alex Dvorsky. A curve outside, ball 3. And I never got to go to Candlestick Park. But Keith Comstock was our pitching coach last year, and he said, yeah, John, you really had to wear long johns and parkas at night. And it was just frigid. The 3-1 to Alex, a curve, strike 2 called. 7-3 Colonels. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Stu Miller was blown off the mound, and as a result, he was into his windup. A balk was called on him one of the memorable events of All-Star Game history. Alex loops one into right center. Base hit. It's 8-3 Kernels. Coming home to score is Abram on a 2-out single into right field by Alex Dvorsky. It's 8-3 Kernels.
Now, John,
Alex has his second RBI of the day.
I was just going to ask, why is Candlestick Park so windy?
Okay.
Do you know, is it because of the way it's built, or?
Well, we have the answer for you. A pitching change is going to take place here as Alex Dvorsky makes it an 8-3 game here in the 7th inning. Allie, here's what happened. Sometimes it's fun to be the professor and share with the younger, and I love asking guys like Bud Curran, who are twice my age, about stuff that I didn't know about. What happened is when the New York Giants were ready to leave New York City, you do know that New York City used to have 3 pro teams, 3 major league teams, the Brooklyn Dodgers, the New York Giants, and the New York Yankees. I'm sure your dad knows that. Well, Horace Stoneham went out to Candlestick Point. No pitching change. They're going to leave their... Now, wait a minute. Yes, this is a new pitcher, and it is Bo Hall. I believe he's a new pitcher. Bo Hall. Yes, Bo Hall will take over for Ryan Trenton here in the 7th inning, 8-3 Kernels. When Horace Stoneham was taken out by the City Fathers of San Francisco to a beautiful point called Candlestick Point, he was taken there about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was beautiful, sunshine, calm, and they said, Horace, this is where we'd like to build the new Giant Stadium when your team moves here. Horace Stoneham said, sure, let's do it. Well, he didn't realize that at night in the bay in San Francisco, winds whip up, and Candlestick Park was built right on a point, and those winds would whip up. Mike Kobeck, please stay for a moment. Those winds would whip up and cause all sorts of havoc like they did in the 1961 All-Star Game. Mike, I was going to send Allie in. Before Ryan Trenton was lifted here, we thought Trenton may have been throwing a knuckleball. Mike agrees. Mike does think that Ryan Trenton was throwing a knuckleball. I do too, Mike. Mike says nothing goes that slow. It was a good knuckleball. It really was. Here's Quan Cosby to face Bo Hall. And a ball low to Quan. 8-3 Kernels, bottom of the 7th inning. Allie, thanks for bringing us that All-Star Game Colonel Did You Know question from Candlestick Park in 1961. And thanks for listening to our answer about why it's so windy. Here's a high fly ball into shallow left. The shortstop out. And Chaz Tierney has it to end the Colonel's 7th inning. Quan Cosby has popped to shallow left where the shortstop made the catch. In the 7th for the Colonels, 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 snapper error, their 3rd of the game. The Colonels leave a man stranded. We've left 6 aboard. We'll likely have a new pitcher in the 8th inning. As we go to the 8th, the Colonels are now leading Beloit 8-3. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Hi, this is Dick Clark. You know, I always enjoy staying up late on New Year's Eve, but the rest of the year I love getting to bed early because my wife, Carrie, and I have a Tempur-Pedic mattress. Tempur-Pedic's revolutionary material leaves us relaxed, refreshed, and rejuvenated. Call 1-800-645-0707 for a free video brochure and a sample of the great pressure-relieving material Tempur-Pedic products are made of. Take it from Carrie and me. You're going to love Tempur-Pedic. Call 1-800-645-0707. This is Dick Clark wishing you pleasant dreams, America.
Every team has its all-star. Here's your chance to put one on your team during Mazda 6 National Test Drive Weekend. Starting this Thursday at your Mazda dealer, it's your chance to win great prizes and test drive the all-new Mazda 6. The only unanimously chosen Automobile Magazine 2003 All-Star. Mazda 6 National Test Drive Weekend. This weekend only at your participating Mazda dealer. No purchase necessary. Automobile Magazine 203.
If you can't get enough of the Zone ESPN Radio 1600 AM, why not join our team?
Are you ready?
We're looking for highly motivated people with sales, communication, and marketing skills to represent the best sports radio station in town. If you're interested in playing for the Zone's A team, slide into our studios at 501 2nd Ave in Cedar Rapids or email your resume to soundoff@thezone1600.com. Your future is calling. Get in the game. Get in the Zone. ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Micah Posey, who's in line if the Kernels get good work out of their bullpen to win his 4th game. I'll give the final line on Micah Posey. While I total it, Ali Lensko has a Kernel call to the U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen.
The U.S. Cellular call to the bullpen is brought to you by U.S. Cellular. Call 1-888-USCC. We connect with you, U.S. Cellular.
And answering the U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen, our dugout interview guest last night, Adrian Goaz. Adrian Goaz, a submarine pitcher from Puerto Rico who went to the University of Tampa, has answered the U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen. Micah Posey went 7 innings, allowed 3 runs on 8 hits. He struck out 4, and Micah walked 2. Let's make sure. Okay. Allie, we have a very important announcement. We very rarely have on-air press conferences, but we are going to have one here in the 8th inning. Last night, most of the nation has learned about the despicable act of Randall Simon of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Standing in the dugout at Miller Park, the Pirate player Simon reached out with his bat and hit one of the sausages in the race.
One of the mascots.
Yes.
They were having a mascot race.
Well, in a moment, as Jeff Yore bats against Adrian Goaz, we have a statement from our own Mr. Shucks, ball 1 outside.
Well, remember also, folks, Mr. Shucks is mute, but he wrote us out the following statement. He says, quote, "Sausage is for eating, not for beating." Hopefully Mr. Simon will learn that lesson. On the other hand, all mascots know that when they step between the white lines, they do so at their own peril. It's a hot dog eat hot dog world out there. However, Mr. Shucks says, this case, a winner-take-all race, has a certain aroma to it. I urge that a thorough investigation be conducted, and I suggest that authorities take a long look at the winner. He's a real brat.
Oh, my goodness, Mr. Shucks. Some of your lines are going to bear repeating. A statement issued by Mr. Shucks, a written statement concerning last night's unfortunate event at Miller Park with Randall Simon knocking down one of the sausage mascots in the sausage race with his bat. Here's a ground ball off the glove of B.J. Weed, diving to his left. It squirts into left field. A leadoff infield single for Jeff Yore off Adrian Goaz, who misses high, ball 1 to Mario Mendez. Allie, there were several, some could say play on words in there. Some of those sentences bear repeating from Mr. Shucks. The 1-0 inside, ball 2.
Well, the first one is sausage is for eating, not for beating.
That's very true.
And
Randall Simon should have known that.
Hopefully he learned his lesson by what's going on now. So.
And not to condone what Randall Simon did, but Mr. Shucks feels that there are some hazards being between the white lines.
That's right. He says it's a hot dog eat hot dog world out there, and that all mascots know that when they step between the white lines, they do so at their own peril. So.
And then there was something about the actual sausage race. We'll get to that in a moment. I know the one that won it was a real brat. But ball 3 is high to the batter as Adrian Goaz has fallen behind. Mario Mendez 3-0. Goaz with the 3-0. Strike on the outside corner. Allie, what else did Mr. Shucks have in his written statement?
He says that it was a winner-take-all race.
Yes, a winner-take-all.
And he urges that a thorough investigation be conducted and that authorities take a long look at the winner because he's a real brat.
A real brat indeed. Well, Mr. Shucks is down below right now, Allie, and I'm going to take a picture of him because he's delighting some younger fans by giving them his autograph. The runner goes, a strike called, and a stolen base for Jeff Yore. It's 3-2 now to Mario Mendez. The Kernels lead this one 8-3. We're in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, and earlier I saw Mr. Shucks actually being interviewed by, I think it was a KCRG camera, so.
I saw that too, Allie. Here's a tap over the hill, a tough play. Callaspo throws. What a play! The runner's safe. First and third, nobody out. Alberto made an unbelievable play behind second. The backhanded tap off the bat of Mario Mendez. His throw to first was strong, and Mendez just beat it for an infield single. A pair of infield singles have Beloit knocking on the door, trying to get right back in this game against Adrian Goaz. Goaz last pitched, it was his Kernel debut Saturday, an inning and 2/3 here against Peoria in a Kernel loss. He went an inning and 2/3, allowed a run on 2 hits, struck out 2, walked 3. Adrian Goaz, our dugout interview guest last night. Up on his feet in the Kernel bullpen is James Carroll. He was our dugout interview guest with Allie on Monday night. The first pitch is a strike to Adam Heather, strike 1. Well, Allie, thank you for rushing that press release from Mr. Shucks to us. And his comments, I can't add anything to them. They're that good.
I can't either. Don't know what else to say.
I really don't. The runner goes, a throw to second, and the runner steals second. A swing and a miss by Adam Heather, strike 2. Another stolen base for the Snappers. They're second in the inning. It's second and third, nobody out. Now, wait a minute. A runner is going back to first base, and Don Money checks with the plate umpire, and he understands the explanation. The runner is going back to first. I don't know why. I really don't know why, but he's sent back to first. The count remains, I believe, 0-2 to Heather, unless it's 0-2, so the pitch counted. I have no idea. We'll have to ask Mike Kuhlbeck why that runner was sent back to first base. The 0-2. And it's tipped foul to the on-deck circle where Pedro Esperagoza picks it up. Well, Allie has a couple of tasks to accomplish after this 8th inning. She'll be asking Mike Kuhlbeck why that runner was sent back to first. And she'll also be asking Mike if he can give us an update on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. The Submariner Goaz, the runner goes, a pitch belted foul onto the lawn section as a Lady Ducks recover out there. A kid tackled another kid on a concrete step to get that baseball. We really appreciate Mr. Shucks' written statement regarding that awful incident. Adam Heather is 1 for 3. Single, stole second, and scored in the 5th inning to cut the Kernel lead to 3-2. It's now 8-3. Runners at first and third. A tap to the right side. Abram throws to second out. Throw to first with Goaz covering, not in time. A run home to make it 8-4 Kernels. Matt Abram made a good play to get the lead runner, Mario Mendez. Mendez was thrown out by Matt Abram on a tap to the Kernel first baseman. That went 3-6. Abram to Aybar. Adam Heather reaches on a fielder's choice. He's credited with an RBI. And the Kernel lead is 8-4. Allie, what's Mr. Shucks up to?
I don't know. I think I see my cousin down there. That's why I was checking to see if it was him.
I bet it is.
I think it is too.
We're going to have to get a radio and either get your cousin up here or at least get him or her to wave up. Now, that's not Jack Evans.
Yeah, no, it would be his son, though.
Jack Evans' son may be here?
Yeah, I think it's him.
Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable. The 1-0 to Pedro Esperagoza.
I haven't seen him in years, though.
Well, let's get a radio between innings. That'll be another thing to add to your list to get that guy tapped on the shoulder. And would he recognize you?
Probably if I said, hi, remember me? It's been a long time. I think he's graduated from college now. I haven't seen him since he was in college, probably.
A strike is in from Goaz to Pedro Esperagoza. It's 2-1. Pedro's 0 for 3 this afternoon. The Kernels have James Carroll working in their right field bullpen. Micah Posey, 7 innings pitched, 3 runs. On 8 hits, he struck out 4. He walked 2. A little dribbler to third. B.J. Weed looks at second, but takes the sure route across the diamond. It goes 5-3. Esparagoza is 0 for 4 as he taps out to third. Adam Heather advances into scoring position. He's at second with 2 out, and the batter is Chaz Tierney, who's 0 for 3. Do you know where your cousin went to college?
I believe he went to Northwestern.
Okay.
His little brother is going there now.
Yeah. Well, Jack Evans is a pillar in this community. He heads the Hall Perrine Foundation. And I know he's done some guest lecturing down at the University of Iowa.
Yeah, I think he was an intern professor or associate professor.
He's a member of the Federal Board of Reserve, or one of the regional Board of Reserve. A swing and a miss. Strike 1 on Chaz Tierney.
It's funny though, I know he was teaching at Iowa and stuff, but I had never once seen him at Iowa in Iowa City until first time I had seen him in a few years was at a Kernels game earlier in the season.
There you go, Allie. We've always said this is the place to be seen and go to. That's where you saw your Uncle Jack Evans.
Yep.
A strike is called, or a ball rather, low and in to Chaz Tierney.
Well, he's actually not my uncle. He's my mom's cousin.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I haven't seen him in so long, because they're my second cousin.
Oh, I see.
And we used to have family reunions every year, but they've been getting further and far between.
Tierney grounds one to deep third. Weed's throw is high and safe. Safe. Abram claims he tagged the runner. Matt looked like he tagged Tierney, but it'll be a throwing error on B.J. Weed. Remember, this is Weed's first start of the season at the hot corner, and he did have a very long throw to make. He's charged with an error, E5. His throw was to the home plate side of first, and it pulled Matt Abram off the bag, and that's it for Adrian Goaz. Adrian Goaz pitches 2/3 of an inning. In 2/3 of an inning, he's allowed 1 run on 2 infield singles, 2 hits. Goaz struck out none. Adrian walked none. And we're going to have another U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen.
This U.S. Cellular call to the bullpen was brought to you by U.S. Cellular. Call 1-888-USCC. U.S. Cellular, we connect with you.
Yes, they do, and the U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen connects James Carroll to the hill. Well, it's 8-4 Kernels. We're in the top of the 8th inning, and the batter is Kennard Bibbs. James Carroll is working out of the Colonel bullpen for the 3rd time let me double check that. I believe the 4th time this year. Yes, James pitched 2 scoreless innings here Monday night in the Colonel 5-4 win against the Snappers. No runs in 2 innings. He allowed 3 hits, struck out none, walked 1. And Allie, for those that missed your dugout interview with James on Tuesday night, he came back from a very strange injury.
That's right. He had torn his oblique muscle, and he told me that it was torn totally in half. And it took him a whole season basically to get back on his feet. And it was in the 4th game of the season when he hurt it. First inning, I think he was pitching. He was starting pitcher, and he ended up pitching 1 inning, one of the very last games of the season, and so that was his senior season at Pepperdine. So he said it kind of ruined his senior season, and they were a good team. He was disappointed, but he's back in it, and he said he's been slowly working on getting his strength back up, and now he's almost back to 100%. So
well, he looked great here Monday night in 2 scoreless innings. He's coming on in a tough situation. That's because Kennard Bibbs is 2 for 3 with an RBI and a walk. The only time Bibbs was retired was on a strikeout, his last time up in the 7th by starter Micah Posey. James Carroll is on the mound. James Carroll is pitching here in the top of the 8th inning. And he misses low and in, ball 1 to left-handed batter Kennard Bibbs. 1st and 3rd, 2 out for Beloit. The Colonels on top 8-4. The Kernels about hit the Snappers 11-10. Kennard Bibbs hitting .283 overall. A pitch missed low from James, ball 2. Boy, Allie, I couldn't believe earlier this morning. Well, first of all, early this morning, you were up and it was not cloudy.
It was not. It was beautiful outside. I was excited to come to a sunny game.
Well, then a big cloud cover around 9 in the morning, a strike called to Bibbs, and that had me really concerned about the turnout today, but I shouldn't have worried.
No need to worry at all. We've got our attendance in, and the numbers are great.
The 2-1 to Bibbs. Low, ball 3. Now this is getting scary.
All right, today at this afternoon's game, we had 3,645 in attendance. And a lot of kids and families and thundersticks and a lot of fun.
And business people.
Yeah.
One of them, Allie's cousin. Here's a looper to shallow left. Caleb dives, can't get it. Another run is in to make it 8-5, and now the tying run comes to the plate. The Snappers are not done. They've made it a 3-run game. Kennard Bibbs went the other way. Yet another hit for Kennard Bibbs. Yet another hit, his second RBI. Kennard Bibbs is now 13 for 30 against Colonel pitching. He's hitting almost 500 against us this year. Kennard Bibbs didn't hit it hard, but dumped it in front of a diving Caleb Mayer for an RBI. That run is charged to the departed relief pitcher Adrian Goaz. And now Calyx Crabb, another big thorn in the Colonel's side, faces James Carroll. Strike 1 called to Crabb. On the base hit to left, Chaz Cherney, who reached on a B.J. Weed throwing error, went to second. Scoring from third was Adam Heather to make it a 2-run inning, and it's 8-5 Kernels here in the 8th inning. Calyx Crabb so far 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. The 0-1 from Carroll just missed low, ball 1. We're in the top of the 8th inning. Lots of afternoon action in the big leagues, and Allie will be garnering some of those scores for us, hopefully from Mike Kuhlbeck here in the late going. First and second, 2 out. Strike 2 called on the outside corner to the switch hitter, Calyx Crabb, who backs out of there. Allie told you about all the thundersticks. You can probably hear them in our crowd mic.
I went over into the plaza section today to get some donut dashers, and with all the thundersticks and the banging on the bleachers, it was hurting my ears.
Wow.
I was like, I saw a little girl with her ears plugged. And
boy, a slider in the dirt.
I couldn't believe all the noise was coming out over there.
Well, I'm glad you told that story, Allie, because I understand when the Angels won during the postseason, and especially in the World Series, when everybody saw those red Angel thundersticks, I understand that it was almost deafening at Edison International Field.
I can imagine with the size of that field and the amount of thundersticks you could have in there.
Calyx Crabb stays alive. He just got a piece of a 2-2 pitch and tips it foul at the plate. The Deuces are wild in the Beloit 8th inning. They've scored 2 runs. There are 2 on, 2 out. The count is 2-2. And the batter, the number of the batter is number 2. So if you're one to lay a wager, do it now on the number 2. Deuces are wild. 2 on, 2 out. 2-2 the count to number 2. Ball 3 down and in. Now with 2 out, the runners will go. Boy, oh boy. Todd Klaus's stomach has to be churning in the Colonel first base dugout. Churning and worry that his bullpen has just not gotten it done yet. When Chopper, Rich Thompson, was promoted to Rancho Cucamonga, a big void was created. A big void. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. James Carroll got Calyx Crabb swinging on a sinker. A 7-man bat for Beloit in the 8th inning. They scored 2 runs on 3 base hits, 1 Colonel error. The Snappers lead 2. They've left 9. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Colonels now leading the Snappers 8-5. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
When we met at Spaghetti, we would never forget Zio Giano's. Now it's where mi amore and I dine in. We carry out the lunch and the dinner all the time for lasagna, ravioli, mandacati, cannelloni, tortellini. Or try their delicious salads and sub sandwiches too. Zio Giano's is the hometown taste of Italy. For your next meal with friends and a family, remember Zio Giano's with 5 convenient locations for the pasta that makes you sing.
We go to the bottom of the 8th. 8-5 Kernels. Each team has 11 hits. Here's the line on the relief pitcher for Beloit, Ryan Tritton. He went an inning and 2/3, yielded 5 runs on 4 hits, struck out none, walked 1, and hit a batter. Ryan Tritton was relieved in the 7th inning. Quan Cosby popped out with Bo Hall on the mound. Bo Hall delivers a strike to B.J. Weed. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Kernels up by 3, 8-5. Here's the 0-1. A ground ball to the right side. The second baseman has it, and Calix Crabb throws out B.J. Weed, who's 0 for 4 this afternoon. I almost said tonight. Bo Hall is 6-3 this year, and he leads Beloit with 7 saves. Bo is on for the 32nd time this season with that 6-3 record, a 3.42 ERA. Bo Hall has hurled 47 1/3 innings, given up only 35 hits in 47 1/3, fanned 47 and 47 1/3, walked 17. Bo Hall, a right-hander, to Ransell, and it goes past the catchers, ball 1. Boy, never drop a tack where you're sitting. I just did that, and that's a no-no. The 1-0 to Mel Guerrero. Outside, ball 2 from Bo Hall. Bo is the 3rd Beloit pitcher today. The 2-0 to Mel Guerrero. A line shot into deep center, way back, and Tony Gwynn Jr. has it. Mel Guerrero's been hitting the cover off the ball all afternoon. His 5th bat of the afternoon, no exception, as he lines out to deep center. Mel Guerrero has doubled and scored. He's tripled, and he's driven in a run with an infield single. He's the 2nd out of the Kernel 8th as he lines to center. With 2 gone and nobody on, here's Erick Aybar. His 2-run homer in the 3rd inning catapulted the Kernels in the lead in this game, 3-1. We have not trailed since. A high pop foul on top of the grandstand roof. Allie, we did check with Alan Bernard, our Director of Stadium Operations, and Sue Brooks, the wife of Board of Director Rob Brooks, also helped us with your question. Remember last night you asked what would happen to baseballs that go on the grandstand roof? Here's a bunt and no play. Erick Aybar is bunting his way on. Erick Aybar has his 2nd hit of the day. He bunted it to the right of home plate. Pedro Esparagoza had to chase after it. When he finally picked it up with his bare hand, he took a bite out of it because he could not throw Aybar out. Yeah, Alan Bernard, our Director of Stadium Operations, cornered me during the lunch or the breakfast hour this morning here at the ballpark, and he let me know that there is a lip about 1.5 feet high. First of all, the grandstand roof slopes down to a flat roof, and he said that there could be anywhere from 1 to 12.5 baseballs up there after the game. I asked him what he did with them, or what his crew, who has to climb out onto the flat part of the roof to get them. He said they try to do it the very night of the game or the day after so that the balls don't become waterlogged. And he said, there goes the runner, a pitch, a strike, the throw to second, not in time. The team high 21st stolen base of the year for Erick Aybar as Callaspo took the ball for ball 2. He said if they're in good enough shape, they go back to the general bin that Roadrunner guards with his life in the clubhouse. He said other times the Kernels will donate them to area youth leagues. I thought it was another great question. I had no idea that roof sloped and then went down. And then Sue Brooks said when they go over both the grandstand roof and the flat roof, that her son sometimes catches them.
Yep, that's what I heard her say that Tyler stands out there to get the ball.
Or I'm sorry, Sue Brooks didn't tell us that. Yes, it was Tammy Coolbeck. What in the world? Oh, boy. These cobwebs are getting to be too thick in my brain.
Well, we have a short time to get ready for the game today.
Well, thanks, Sally. Here's a ball whistled to first. Short hop pickup by Prince Fielder, who makes the play unassisted. Alberto Callaspo hit a one-hop streaming liner to the feet of Prince Fielder. He calmly short-hopped it, nabbed it, and stepped on the base to end the Kernel 8th inning. In the 8th inning for the Kernels, no runs, 1 hit, a bunt single by Aybar. He stole second, his team high 21st steal of the year. There were no Beloit errors. The Kernels leave 1, and we've stranded 7. We go to the top of the 9th inning with a chance to make it a 4-3 homestand. It's the Kernels 8, Beloit 5. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
I cannot face anyone but me. Baby, can't you see I know what's right for me? Don't tell me wrong from right. I know just what I like. Yeah, call me crazy, I don't care. Come feel the joy all around. Each generation gets out. They've got their own kind of sound. Time to shout it out. Listen to it, Pepsi.
When searching for a professional logistics team of experts to handle your warehousing operations, look to Worley Warehousing. Worley Warehousing will help you achieve greater efficiencies by providing superior warehouse facilities, technological advancements, and expert professionals. By focusing on technological innovations and keen foresight, Worley Warehousing has grown into one of our nation's leading warehousing operations. Worley Warehousing, your single source for all of your warehousing and distribution needs. Looking for a sure way to bring your daughter or son the thrill of a lifetime? Then visit Taco Bell and register them for a chance to be drawn as a Taco Bell Baseball Buddy. As a Taco Bell Baseball Buddy, your child will receive a Taco Bell Baseball Buddy t-shirt, collect autographs from the Kernels, and take the field with the Kernel player for the national anthem. Being a Taco Bell Baseball Buddy will provide your kid with an unforgettable feeling of excitement. All it takes is a visit to Taco Bell.
We go to the top of the 9th inning. The heart of the order for Beloit, starting with Tony Gwynn Jr., James Carroll on the hill, and he misses high, ball 1. 8-5 Kernels, top of the 9th inning. Tony Gwynn Jr. is 2 for 4 today with an RBI. Strike 1 from the Kernel right-hander, James Carroll. The Kernels have out-hit Beloit 12-11. And hold a 3-run lead with 3 outs to get to try to procure a win. Curve down and in, ball 2 to Tony Gwynn Jr. from James Carroll. Left-handed batter wears number 1. Inside is the pitch, ball 3, Prince Fielder on deck. 3,645, as Allie reported last inning. Big crowd here for this noon game. Uh-oh, the ninth inning starts on a sour note. A walk to Tony Gwynn Jr. A walk, and you hate to see that.
First baseman, Prince Fielder.
Here's Prince Fielder. Carroll came on, allowed a hit and struck out a runner in the 8th inning. 0-1, high and outside to Prince. 8-5, the Kernels up by 3, but a leadoff walk drawn by Tony Gwynn Jr. as you can hear those thundersticks down below. Uh-oh, a deep drive to left. Mayer on the run. Mayer on the run. Can't get it. Can't get it. Tony Gwynn Jr. to third. Prince Fielder to second. On a double, second and third. Nobody out for Beloit. Look out. The snappers have come out of their shell, and they are making a real charge at the Kernels. Prince Fielder hit it off the end of his bat. Caleb Mayer, I think, misplayed it a little bit. He looked very unsure as he raced to his right to the area below the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. He was playing Fielder to pull in his defense. He had a long way to go, and Prince dumped a double into left. Second and third, nobody out for Jeff Yore. He's the tying run at the plate. Oh, my goodness. The lead is not safe. A strike called to Jeff Yore from James Carroll. Well, Allie, you asked James what goes through his mind when a leadoff batter gets on in an inning. It happened twice to him on Monday night, and he was able to pitch out of trouble. Here's a high pop-up. It'll be the first out of the ninth inning in shallow center. Aybar, Aybar had to drift a long way. Now a throw to third, and back to third is Tony Gwynn Jr. Aybar had to go a long, long way to his left to catch that ball on the right side, the right field side of second in the outfield. He did so, and Jeff Yore is the first out of the Beloit ninth inning. Aybar caught his pop-up. Allie, I don't recall what James had to say about pitching under pressure.
I was just going to say, I don't totally remember exactly what he said either. I remember him talking about how it's difficult.
Yeah. And how you have to remember that you have guys behind you to field the ball.
Yeah.
You don't have to strike everybody out. I remember him saying that. Here's a number foul outside first, and it's strike one to Mario Mendez. He's 1 for 4. Now the hits are even at 12 apiece. James Carroll is trying to save this one for Micah Posey. Here's the 0-1. A slider for a strike. 0-2 to the batter. I've lost sight of little Major Posey. Maybe he's taking a nap. What a great kid. The 0-2. Strike 3 called! James Carroll on a slider. Painted the inside corner, much to the chagrin of Mario Mendez. And they're 2 out. 2 out in the Beloit ninth inning for Adam Heather. Adam Heather batting is the tying run at the plate. 2 on, 2 out. Top of the ninth. Kernels leading 8-5. Adam Heather is 1 for 4 today with an RBI and 2 runs scored, so he's been productive as the Beloit DH. Adam Heather, a right-handed batter from Long Beach State, takes ball 1 low from James Carroll. Mr. Shucks is on top of the Kernel first base dugout. Gwynn at third, Prince Fielder at second. A line drive. Aybar has it to end the game. A line drive, a looping liner. Erick Aybar caught it to end the game and make the Colonel homestand a success. The Kernels take 3 of 4 from Beloit, go 4 and 3 on the homestand with an 8-5 victory here this afternoon. 8-5 Kernels in the 9th inning for the Snappers. No runs, 1 hit, a walk. No Colonel errors. Beloit leaves a pair. They stranded 11, and the Kernels win it 8-5 here this afternoon. James Carroll indeed saves it for Micah Posey. 8-5 Kernels. Totals, highlights, and more coming next on the Colonel Curtain Call. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.
Syringes and needles can be a waste handler's worst nightmare. Imagine picking up a trash can or blue recycling bin and, ouch, being stuck. Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling wants you to keep our waste handlers safe and away from disease. All needles and syringes need to be disposed in sealed containers, like a Home Sharps container, milk container, or detergent bottle. These can then be dropped off at the main recycling center on 6th Street or at Blue Stem Site number 2. Help us keep our waste handlers safe.
Dad will use Alliant Energy to do lots of things. To turn the lights off 10,000 times. To give 765 bubble baths. To do 3,126 loads of laundry. But most important of all, to cook 152 gourmet meals when Mom works late.
Alliant Energy, we're on for you.
To learn more, call 1-800-ALLIANT.
Winning smiles don't just happen. They take commitment and a team effort between you and your dentist. To create a winning smile, see the dental professionals at the Dental Center on Mount Vernon Road in Cedar Rapids. Doctors Hagenman, Stovey, and Steiberg can take care of all your dental needs. For information or an appointment, call the Dental Center at 365-0534. To create a dental health team that will leave you smiling, call the Dental Center.
Time for the Colonel's Curtain Call, right here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM. With a recap of all the action, the State Farm Major League Scoreboard, plus a look ahead to the next Colonel's game, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonels, the one, the only John Rogers, here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600 AM.
Well, we've taken care of it all now on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. Allie's had a chance to reacquaint herself with her long-lost cousin, Will Evans, is here. He's the son of Jack Evans. Boy, he's a chip off the old block, Allie. He looks just like his dad.
Just embarrassed me to let you all know.
Well, that's all right. Hey, in a ballpark, remember, you're allowed to yell.
I guess.
Now, if we were in the hallways of the lecture hall at Iowa, I wouldn't have done that, but we're glad we could get Will to smile. He's still smiling. Yep. You seem to have that effect on people, Allie. Well, the Kernels really have a lot to be proud of, having won 3 of 4 against Beloit and having run their homestand record to a final record of 4 and 3, an 8-5 victory here this afternoon. Beloit scored first. They did so when Jeff Yore, leading off the second inning, blasted a home run into the green net above the batter's eye in center field, and the Snappers took a 1-0 lead. The Kernels bounced right back, though, and in the bottom of the second inning, got a leadoff single from Matt Abram. He went to second on a pass ball, and with 1 out, Alex Dvorsky grounded a single up the middle to tie the game at 1. The Kernels took the lead for good. We didn't know that at the time. In the third inning, Rancel Mel Guerrero lined a drive into shallow left. Kennard Bibbs trapped it, and while he was kind of showing the umpire, Aaron Banks, that he thought he caught it, Mel Guerrero caught the Snappers sleeping and went to second with a double. Erick Aybar followed with a 2-run homer onto the Randy Kiel-Confidence Picnic Pavilion, his 5th of the year, and the Kernels led it 3-1. Beloit made it a 1-run game, though, in the 5th inning. Leadoff single by Adam Heather. He stole second, and with 2 out, he scored on a Kennard Bibbs double over the head of Rancel Mel Guerrero. The game was 3-2 Kernels after 4.5 innings. In the 6th inning, the Kernels scored 3 runs to make it 6-2. Mayer was hit by a pitch against Ryan Tritton, who took over for the starter Jeff Houseman. Dvorsky walked. Quan Cosby then, trying to sacrifice, bunted his way on, and that loaded the bases. After B.J. Weed flew out to shallow center, Mel Guerrero tapped one to third. Jeff Yore misplayed it. It was ruled an infield single. Mayer scored to make it 4-2. And then Erick Aybar forced Mel Guerrero at second 6-4 on a ground out. On that ground out, Aybar drove home Dvorsky from third to make it 5-2. And then one of the key plays of the game, a pass ball on a pitch by Tritton to Pedro Esparagoza, the catcher. It got away. The ball trickled to the right behind home plate to the right. Aybar lit out for second and drew a throw. He was safe there. The return throw to Esparagoza was in plenty of time to get Quan Cosby, but Quan lowered the boom. He lowered his left shoulder and ramrodded his way not only through the catcher, Esparagoza, but knocked the pill out of Pedro's catcher's mitt. And Cosby scored on a very, very gutsy maneuver at home to make it 6-2 Kernels. Beloit struck for a run in the seventh inning off of Micah Posey. Alberto Callaspo, in the seventh inning, a two-out walk was issued to Calix Crabb. He stole second and he scored on an RBI single into shallow left by Tony Gwynn Jr. Crabb scored to make it a 6-3 game. The Kernels plated two in the bottom of the seventh inning to make it 8-3. Callaspo reached on an error by Chaz Tierney, advanced to second on a wild pitch, went to third on a ground ball out to first by Abruzzo, scored on a Matt Abram double over the center fielder's head, and then Abram scored with two out on a single into right by Alex Dvorsky, and the Kernels led it 8-3. In the eighth inning, the Snappers struck for 2 runs on 3 base hits and a Kernel error to make it 8-5. Beloit put their first 2 men aboard against James Carroll in the ninth inning, but James got the next 3 snappers in a row to preserve an 8-5 Kernel win. For the Kernels, 8 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. We stranded 11. For the Snappers, 5 runs, a dozen hits, 3 errors. They left 7. The winning pitcher, in front of his family, including his father, Mike Posey, who was with us during this broadcast. Micah Posey, the Kernel 20-year-old lefty, is 4-3. He went 7 innings and gave up just 3 runs. Micah Posey, the winner for the Kernels, 4-3. The loser was the starter for Beloit, a tough luck season for Jeff Houseman. He still hasn't won since May 31st at Pullman Field when he shut us out 4-0. Houseman slips to 2-7. The game took 2 hours and 41 minutes, and on this beautiful Thursday afternoon was taken in by 3,645. 8-5 Kernels. Up next on the Kernel Curtain Call, our Kernel Plays of the Game. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
You're trying to enjoy your summer, but you just can't. The kids have been in and out of the house 50 times bugging you about, we're bored. And so you went and got them the deluxe slip and slide with the jet-powered loop-de-loop water tunnel. But that was only good for about 15 minutes, and then they were right back whining about, there's nothing to do. And besides that, it killed your grass, and now you have to replant it, and you're starting to wonder what the heck you're going to do for fun this summer. So how do you beat the summer blahs? How do you have a little fun? Subscribe to the Gazette. Yeah, the newspaper. Know where all the fun activities are. Know where to see fireworks, family festivals, outdoor concerts. Know the dates, times, and places of every fun event for miles around. Your kids will love you. Your wife will adore you. Your dog will worship you. You'll set a new Guinness World Record for having the most fun of any person in history. And isn't that what summer's all about?
The Gazette. Now you know.
8-5 Kernels. The Kernel homestand record is 4-3. That's how it ends. And against Beloit this season, the Kernels 5-3. It's time now, before the top of the hour. Remember, Scott Unash is coming along with the Scott Unash Show, part of Game Day here on the Zone. It's time to enjoy our Kernel Plays of the game. With the game tied at 1 in the third inning, Rancel Mel Guerrero led off with a double. He was followed to the plate by Kernel All-Star shortstop Erick Aybar.
Here's a deep drive to left by Aybar. Adios! 3-1 Kernels! On to the Randy Keel Hopkins picnic
Yes, it was, and it put the Kernels ahead 3-1. Our second Kernel play of the game took place in the fourth inning. It didn't directly result in the Kernels adding to their lead, but it was one of the most uplifting, inspirational at-bats I'd seen all year, and listen to what happened when Rancel Mel Guerrero batted with 2 out in the Kernel fourth. A drive into right, way back, maybe extra bases. It will be over the head of the right fielder, Mendez. Will Rancel try for 3? He's rounded second. He's going to try for third. Here's the throw. Save! Triple for Rancel. Triple for Rancel, and I said at the time, a triple in my book is still one of the most exciting plays in all of baseball. Our final Kernel play of the game took place in the Kernel 3-run 6th inning. The Kernels had added to their lead with 2 in the 6th inning and led the game 5-2. And with Alberto Callaspo at the plate, a strange thing happened. Pops out of the middle of the catcher, throw to second, safe, throw home, and safe, safe. Juan bowled over the catcher, safe. Another man trying to score, throw home, out, out. But what an exciting play to make it the Kernels 6 and Beloit 2. Yes, it was, as Quan Cosby lowered the boom on Pedro Esparagoza and scored in the Kernel 3-run 6th inning to make it 6-2 Kernels. The Kernels turned back the Snappers 8-5 and run their 7-game homestand record to 4-3. You're listening to Kernel Baseball. We're going to tell you that you're enjoying the Kernel Curtain Call here on the Zone, ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That's our second segment of the Kernel Curtain Call. We'll be back with Allie's look at the State Farm Major League Scoreboard. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Zone.
Everyone deserves a great insurance agent, not just any insurance agent. Paul Draper, your Pekin insurance agent at Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion, has the experience and knowledge to provide you with top-notch insurance coverages. Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion has been insuring individuals like you for over 100 years. Dependable protection from Pekin insurance agent Paul Draper at Sheets Forest Draper Insurance in Marion, an agency you know and trust.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
And you're listening to the Kernel Curtain Call. Our final score here today was Kernels 8, Beloit 5. Right now it's time for our State Farm Insurance Major League Scoreboard, brought to you by our State Farm agents, Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, Lanny Peterson, and Dale Thompson. Right now in the American League, we have one final, and that was at Comerica Park between Detroit and the White Sox, and the Detroit just nipped out the Sox. Final score 1-0. In the National League going on right now, it's a close game at Miller Park, the scene of that fateful incident last night, where Milwaukee is leading Pittsburgh 2-1 in the 5th inning. And right now at Wrigley Field, we're also in the 5th inning. The Cubs are leading the Braves 3-2. Coming up later on this afternoon at the Coliseum, Oakland will take on Tampa. And at Edison International Field, our parent team of the Angels will take on the Royals. Then at Bank One Ballpark in Arizona, the Diamondbacks will take on San Diego. Then coming up tonight in your Major League, will be at the Skydome, Toronto versus Boston. And the Yankees and the Indians will go head-to-head at Jacobs Field. And in Texas, the Rangers will take on the Twins at the ballpark in Arlington at Safeco Field. Baltimore and Seattle will go head-to-head. Then in the National League tonight at Shea Stadium, the Mets are taking on the Phillies. And in Houston at Minute Maid Park, the Astros will be taking on the Reds. At Busch Stadium, we have the Cardinals taking on the Dodgers. And then tonight at Coors Field, San Francisco and Colorado will go on head-to-head. So thank you to our State Farm Insurance agents again, Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Larry
Am I getting this right, John?
Well, 2 for 2.
Lanny Peterson.
You got it.
And Dale. Did I already say Dale Thompson?
Al
Shuttler.
Yeah, there you go, Allie.
All right.
That's tremendous. And thank you for bringing us that look as our final portion of the Colonel Curtain Call at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Scott Unash is ready to take the baton from Allie and I. Scott with his Scott Unash Show is part of Game Day here on the Zone. The Kernels played before 3,645 and whipped Beloit 8-5 to make their homestand record 4-3. We'll start an 8-game road trip, and we start it tomorrow evening at Philip Elstrom Stadium in Geneva, Illinois. 6:10 dugout interview time with the Ask Todd Klaus Show. 6:10 dugout interview time tomorrow from Philip Elstrom Stadium, a weekend series against the Kane County Cougars, who started play today 12-9. With the win here this afternoon, the Kernels are 11-11. We wish Don Money and his Beloit Snappers all the best the rest of the season, and hopefully we'll tangle with them again in the postseason in the playoffs. For Colonel Broadcast Assistant Allie Lensko, I'm John Rogers. We want to thank Allison Conley, our in-studio engineer back at the Zone. As always, Allison did a fine job, and we appreciate her hard work. The Colonels 8, Beloit 5, 6:10 dugout interview time tomorrow evening from suburban Chicagoland. John Rogers wishing you a great rest of your Thursday. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Zone.